these bone discoveries as dragons instead of dinosaurs? Well, I would obviously say yes. And it looks like some of the people that name the dinosaur discoveries are also of the same opinion.
Yeah.
Oh boy, there's
So
a
we're
few
starting
things to
off-
unpack here.
Well, we're starting off with appeal to definition, right? So if it's defined in a certain way, that's, you're taking one definition or one etymology and saying, hey, that proves I'm right, kind of thing. So,
I mean, I'm not sure it's even applied or appeal to definition. It's just appeal to just the name.
yeah.
This logic is basically saying that a koala is a bear because people call it a koala bear.
Yeah, it's exactly the same logic.
Love it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like we have the Boreal, like right here, Sleeping Dragon. That is literally just in the title of that article. Like the Titanosaur here, I think he's trying to apply that to the Greek Titans.
So there's also a dinosaur called the what was it? The Pantydraco. So
The what now?
Mhm. There's
I
a lot of
That sounded
There's a lot.
suspiciously like Panty Drapo.
Draco.
Draco.
Okay.
yeah,
Underwear
Panty
dragon.
Draco.
I mean, suffixes, prefixes,
Anti-Draco.
they're weird. They're just weird.
Yeah, and also there's just a random hippo in here from all yesterday's. What the hell?
I mean,
hippo?
hippos
My
are
mouse
clearly
isn't-
dragons
there's my
anyway.
mouse. Well, so like this is a hypothetical drawing of if we discovered a hippo jaw, what we might reconstruct it as versus what it actually is. But he
Oh.
just flashes it and doesn't explain it.
But the
Love
thing
it.
is, we wouldn't reconstruct the hippo like that because we know how muscles are connected and what size muscles they are. We don't make assumptions that, we just put skin around the bone and then go, done.
But you see, Beamsy,
we
we're
might,
just
though.
guessing.
Well, I've noticed.
Haven't you seen how
about
dinosaur reconstructions have changed? That means they have no idea what they're doing.
Well, I've seen this thing by Howard before. It's like he's not really trying to explain anything. He's just sort of scattergunning with everything that he thinks is sort of, so he'll basically have 10 conspiracies on a single slide, and you can't, like, I think they're to appeal to his audience because they know what they are. But, somebody seeing this would just go, what is this? Like, I don't
Yeah.
even know what he's talking about, kind of thing.
It
And he doesn't explain any of it.
And
Well,
why doesn't
Nope.
he have the full name of the Dracorex? Because the full name is Dracorex Hogwartsia.
But because that wouldn't be conducive to his point, and it'll make it obvious it's referencing frickin' Harry Potter.
Like
details.
speculation as truth or something. Like,
Yeah.
That's the mud fossil way.
mhm.
Their motto, I believe, is "It looks like a maple leaf."
So it must be.
Hey.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Dracorex is Dragon King, but the full name was Dracorex Hogwartsia, and
Mhm.
it sort of gives away what it means.
Just a little. And
Oh,
like
it is running in my
Titanosaur
channel.
is. Huh?
It is running in my channel. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Sorry,
yeah.
not hypothetically, in actuality, because I just checked. But it's also offering me a membership to my own channel. How dare I?
I mean,
sorry, I
Mark,
just- Yeah.
as a channel member myself, I have to tell you, you can gain access to all kinds of custom emojis.
Oh, wow, thank you. That's amazing. What kind of emojis? No, let's go. I don't really want to.
Same thing if you subscribe to Ember. And I don't know how TikTok
Absolutely.
works, but maybe yes as well. I don't know.
I don't know anything about. Are we talking about subscribing or just special emojis or what?
Yes.
Membership, so
Oh,
special emojis. Yeah.
I know that's a thing that exists, especially if you connect to Discord, but I don't know. I haven't gotten subscribers yet, so I like Patreon a lot more right now.
That's fair.
Probably.
Speaking of
Patreon's-
which, most of us have a Patreon on here. Da-da-da-da. Anyway.
Because we have Titanosaurus, we have Draco Rex, and we have many other sleeping dragons that have been found, and sea dragons that have even been found in the UK.
Oh, sea dragon. Okay, this is an ichthyosaur,
Uh-huh.
Howard. We know what this is, and it's not a dragon.
It could
More
have
like
been a dragon,
dolphin,
though.
buddy.
Yeah, it's a lizard dolphin.
Hmm.
I'm
So we
surprised he doesn't have the Welsh flag up there, because the Welsh flag is the strongest proof that dragons are real, yo.
No, it's the thing, the diagram in the corner. Don't you know? That's some solid evidence right there.
Mhm.
I mean, have you seen the flag for the is it the Isle of Man?
I probably have, but I can't think of it offhand. Let me see.
What does this mean?
Oh, that's just the
Wow.
standard Celtic triskelion, except with legs, because they're in a hurry and they really like pinwheels. or
That's some
something.
Monty Python stuff.
But why
No,
though?
It actually has a deeper meaning than that.
Well, I'm sure it does,
I
but
believe.
why?
There's spurs on those boots. Hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's
Uh
just
oh.
weird. And then Sicily has something similar. I don't get it.
It's probably Roman in sort of derivation, right? It's Roman origins.
It could be. It could be.
It's
have no
Celtic with a
idea.
little bit of Breton. That's where that basically comes from.
What?
Basics is Sicilian. Have you seen the Silver Drachma?
Mm,
I can't say that I have.
It's got 3 legs of Apollo.
Oh, okay. So it's Greek in derivation then.
No, Sicilian.
It gets so much more interesting.
It's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down to on this stream, because we'll be here for an
Okay.
hour or two talking about what meanings on flags and the background of
yeah.
Wow. So, okay, TLDR. Until 1265, the Isle of Man was part of the Kingdom of the Isles, which was ruled by the Crovan dynasty. The last member of the family died in 1265 without a legitimate heir, when Isles passed into the possession of Alexander III, King of Scotland. And in 1266, sovereignty of the Isle and a few other territories was transferred to the King of Norway, and the heraldic era had started in 1215, slightly earlier in Western Europe. Members of the dynasty are also have known board ships and lines. Oh, that isn't important.
I
The
did say
regime
this in the rabbit
change-
hole.
Yeah, the regime change in 1265 connected the Isle to the Scottish kings, who were already connected to Sicily for some reason. I guess the Crovans had relatives there, and then in 1250, the Holy Roman Emperor, who had ruled Sicily at the time,
Oh dear.
it
The hole
gets
is starting
nuts.
to become more rabbity.
The European aristocracy is just like a mangrove forest. It's ridiculous.
I think it's more like a holiday wreath, but
Yeah, I did warn you that was a rabbit hole if you start going down it.
It just goes on
maybe
and
we
on
should
and on.
investigate this other hole.
See
Giggity.
that a lot of the discoveries are only partial. The majority of them are partial. Most are.
Okay, partial, yes, but we can tell a lot just from a little bit of a skeleton.
If we have a front left leg, but no front right leg, I think we can figure out what they look like.
Yeah, that's what this mirrored postcranial completeness is.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
assuming bilateral symmetry, which we know from the Cambrian era isn't always the case.
But we're not talking about Cambrian era life forms,
Yeah.
are we?
Yeah, we all know Dreadnoughtus rolled around on 3 legs like the Isle of Man flag.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That makes perfect sense.
of them are headless. So it's quite easy to get a bit imaginative and add a lot of things that we don't really know and make a lot of assumptions when the discoveries are partial.
Says
And
the
we
guy
also-
making a lot of assumptions.
Also, just randomly throwing in Haeckel's drawings?
I don't know. He's definitely anti-evolution as well. I do know that.
Oh, yeah.
So I have lots of historical evidence that there's been forgeries.
That was disproven. This thing about
yes.
Archaeopteryx? Disproven.
That is the Archaeosaurus, I believe it is. Was
Or-
the
Oh, is this
forgery.
Archaeoraptor?
Archaeoraptor, yes. That was
Okay,
the forgery, right?
I thought it was
because-
the Archaeopteryx that Hovind likes to point to.
I think this one
No,
is
no.
the one that had the Microraptor tail stuck on the.
Yes, because I see the he said Ye's dinosaur. It's XI. It was in China, and
Oh.
I'm pretty familiar with it. So yeah, that was the hoax basically, or it was people just trying to make money essentially. You know,
It wasn't a hoax.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
it was is they took two real fossils, the front end of a bird and the back end of a Microraptor, and stuck them together, calling it a new dinosaur.
Mhm.
Well, it's the resulting. It was a hoax when it was sold, but it was two real fossils.
Yeah, but the tail in the Microraptor was very, very important and should have actually been sold as it was.
Yeah, might have been even more valuable. Oh, also, Mark, looks like you have a super chat.
Oh, what? Where? Whoa. I'm sorry. I was
It's
paying
too early
attention.
for Mark.
It's so early. Thank you, Ian Chen, for $7.99 dollary dues. I once saw a real dragon, but it flew off into the night. Oh, what a nightmare! Oh, Ian, I love you so much, but you're killing me. I do.
Oh, come on. That
Come on,
was
that's
that-
pretty good. That's
yeah,
pretty funny.
yeah. I enjoy.
Thank you so much, Ian. Yeah, have to talk to Ian again.
To
Microraptor, not
promote
rapture.
these
I think the freak's making a joke.
Ah, sorry.
Also, apparently Bree is stuck in line at the pharmacy. No, it's fine.
Oh,
Me and my girlfriend actually just went to the pharmacy just before the stream. We came back and got froyo, so I'm kind of eating some froyo while this is going on.
Can dinosaurs digest froyos?
Well, I'm not dead yet, so. hey, ain't you ever heard of lactate?
Oh, I see.
narratives, maybe for money, most oftenly. I know that the Bone Wars was how they originally started finding dinosaurs, and I think it was the 1850s or the
Oh,
The
okay.
Bone Wars sounds like a cool movie.
Oh, I wish it was in the process of being made into a movie, but then I think the main actor died and they shelved it, which is sad.
Yeah, and it's not as exciting as the name gives you the idea. It was two paleontologists just rushing to find the most amount of species they could.
Oh, they were
I-
pulling a David Starr Jordan with big bones.
I would call it a dick measuring contest if they kept trying to stab each other's with a pen.
I don't
That
know.
would-
I'm just thinking of like Around the World in 80 Days kind of thing, where there's the two teams of scientists. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Also, I know the documentary this is from, and it is not a good documentary.
Is that Walking with Dinosaurs, that old one?
Oh, it is
the-
absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
They
Something about the
originally
evolution of
started finding
T-Rex, and they show it with these wing feathers. T-Rex did not have wing feathers.
No.
No
They-
Tyrannosauroid had wing
Can
feathers.
you imagine a T-Rex with doing a little flappy flap as it charges at you?
It's not even in the right lineage to have them.
A very angry chicken.
I'm sorry. Now I've just got that little Nicky part from the start.
But what?
With the Popeyes?
No, the big horny bird.
Oh, okay. In
There
Adam
was
Sandler
Venusaur?
movie. Yeah.
Little Nicky.
Oh,
Anyway, yeah, this was not a good
Dinosaurs
documentary.
in, I think it was the 1850s or the 1860s, just 20 years after the name was discovered or designed. See, there's a lot of argument
I'm sorry, Howard.
was
What?
discovered or designed.
What? What?
Behold, a piranha.
I've lost the point.
Welcome to listening to Howard.
Is this like supposed to be a crocoduck kind of thing or what?
Oh my goodness.
It's a T-Rex.
I don't know. This seems pretty fishy. I think
This
it's a red
is your
herring.
brain on Howard. This is your brain on bud fossils.
it's certainly not a red. It's
See,
a
there's
herring.
a lot of arguments about
Blue
if they
herring.
evolved into birds.
Found in a similar, many of these types of fossils are found in a similar position. Yes, because that's what a lot of birds do when they die. Their neck arches back. We know this.
Mm-hmm. We covered that in a previous Creation Science Theater.
Yep.
It's a thing that birds and several other lizard type things do.
I finally got to ask Hovind one of my questions, and I don't think he liked trying to answer it.
Oh?
Do you know about Lake Nilos? Or the Lake of Death?
The one where everything that dips in dies of being covered in salt.
Oh, yeah. You showed us the
Dries
pictures
out.
a week or two ago.
Yeah. I asked him...
Yeah.
Because that's how fossils can form. They could actually be preserved like that and then fall in the mud. So I asked him about that. If you say that fossils aren't being formed, what about these? Because if they fall into a mud, no one's going to touch them, no one's going to disturb them, and they'll be perfectly pristine. It was sort of I've never seen him stump before.
Oh. Hey, best of luck to you, Big Mad Mama. That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we bring you some tiny amount of comfort in the trying times. Unfortunately, I do not have an egg to offer.
Yeah, we had bad thunderstorms last night. I was worried about losing power for the Sunday night show, but yeah, they were intensifying as they moved mountainward. I should specify for those who don't know, I'm on the shore of Lake Ontario, like in that saddle part of New York State. So I'm like due west of Vermont by a few hundred miles.
Okay.
And this is the saddle.
Giggity.
Now I think I know why he likes riding so much.
So fish, and a lot of the discoveries seem to be in similar positions.
It's a scrotum humanum. Sort of the first described dinosaur. Okay, so this is the end of a dinosaur femur. It was discovered in the 17 or 1800s.
That's what I was thinking.
Like a human scrotum. So someone formally described it as scrotum humanum.
Oh
So
my.
technically the first named dinosaur was named human balls.
Because we all know scrotums fossilize super easy.
Well-
Africa's just full of trillions of scrotums.
They actually thought it was a war elephant scrotum, but yeah.
I could have sworn it was scrotum humanum was what he named it.
Yeah, it's what it says in about halfway down the caption thing.
But it was just the size of it that's what thought they were.
But yeah, it has been lost and it was misidentified anyway, so the name doesn't stick. But this was technically the first named dinosaur.
Oh, come on, you're talking about something that might stick in the throat, but we won't go there.
The very first known discovery was from Robert Plott, and he actually thought that he was finding petrified body parts. But because of people like Richard Owen that made the name dinosaurs, and the
I'm sorry. It just keeps talking and random crap on
first
screen.
fossils were known to be reburied before they were discovered again.
Oh, were they?
It does seem
Also, this. Oh, yeah.
If we found a fossil like that, that would be amazing.
Well, Sue the T-Rex has broken tail vertebrae that might have been from her mate stepping on her tail.
Really?
This is really bad
Yeah.
clip art. I am just, I can't get over
Yeah.
how bad the clip art is.
But also, like, something common in the reptile clade. I don't know if you want to mute me or anything, Mark, but big, controllable penises. A lot of reptiles have them to get around this. Tortoises are infamous for it.
I was kind of wondering
Why
about
would I
that.
mute
I was
you?
like,
I don't understand. What, for bad
I don't know.
pluralization? It should be peni or something? What are you talking about? It's a proper
Something like that.
scientific term.
Anyway,
But
yeah,
yeah,
like,
and plus,
it's not hard.
yeah.
You were saying something, Ember?
yeah, like I've seen Creaty Boys make this argument about dinosaur tails getting in the way before, but they've never like backed it up. They just show the picture and be like, ooh, but there's lizards today with big fucking tails and they don't seem to have a problem. So
Correct,
what's the
yeah.
I
problem?
mean, also, like,
I've seen
their penis is in their tail. It's not down
I've
here, it's
seen-
in the tail.
I've seen somebody use, like, you know, those plastic dinosaurs you get from the store, or like McDonald's in your Happy Meal kind of thing, to demonstrate how they couldn't breed. So that's not true. Someone
Oh,
did
I
provide
see.
evidence with plastic toys, and they couldn't fit them together. It might have actually been Howard, or then again, it might have been, Hovind.
I
Who
mean-
knows? With these,
I mean, when you can't get plastic toys to fit, sometimes you just need to use a bit more lube. But I'm not surprised Christians don't know that.
And I would not suggest plastic. Go for latex. It's just a lot more comfortable.
True.
Unless you have a latex allergy.
Yeah, good point.
Also true.
But if you actually
I
want to know
don't think
what
dinosaurs have latex allergies. I think they're fine.
yeah, the actual Scrotohumalus was actually a Megalosaurus's hip joint.
That I believe it was the end of the femur, and we think that's what it was, but we can't say for sure because it disappeared.
It does
No, the original
resemble
disappeared, but
the end of our
replica still
femurs.
exists. Yeah, the
Oh, okay.
replica exists, so we know what it is. It was the hip joint of a Megalosaurus.
I didn't know there was a replica.
seem like there could be some kind of cover up for maybe dragons.
Extendable.
They're gonna get
Dick.
spiked.
So I just
Also-
did the teensiest bit of research before the next part, and I noticed that some lizards can be asexual. So maybe the Stegosaurus
Well-
is asexual.
There is that too, but like
Maybe.
if you're gonna have a problem with a lot of dinosaurs like these mating, how about like modern birds like emus or ostriches or
We
cassowaries?
don't talk about emus.
You should
I
have a
own
real
a
problem with like
hedgehog.
just looking at them. How do they do it?
Can
Like,
we
they don't
also
look like they
avoid
should be able to make
ducks? Yeah, can we also avoid ducks?
Ducks are problematic creatures.
They're terrifying if you start going into their reproductive history. It's
Yup,
no.
A little bit.
Yes. There's like even hedgehogs. I own rescue hedgehogs, and when hedgehogs mate, people are like, "How do hedgehogs do it?" I'm like, they make it work, like all species who have evolved to do. They make it work,
Yep. If they couldn't make it work, they wouldn't be alive.
right?
Maybe we need to get Hovind in here because we can ask for his speciality.
No.
How dare you?
What? His speciality is the 15-foot penis from the whales.
Like, I want to make a joke about him being obsessed with sex because of his new series, but like, it's almost not worth it because
I don't want to think about that. No.
And giants like the Bible talks about, because when you look at the reproduction system, it doesn't quite make sense for the way that they were designed. And the only dinosaurs we've ever seen have been on a television screen.
Except for the bones. Except for the
do you have a time machine,
skeletons.
Howard?
The only snow I've ever seen is on a television screen. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist, Howard.
You know, there are people in the southern U.S. who have actually said to me, we know snow is just a lie you northerners tell to get extra money from the government to fund plows and things.
Are you serious?
Are you serious?
Okay, that's crazy.
There's nothing people in the U.S. will not believe if given. Well, actually, that's one of the other set of the rules of logic, that people will believe any lie if given sufficient motivation. Usually, they either want it to be true or afraid that it's true. And in the case of the northern states bilking tax money, they could have motivation for both.
I've just never heard of the snow conspiracy before. That's a new one. That's a new one.
I just feel dumber from hearing
what
it.
they have to say to like Georgia having like an inch of snow falling and Atlanta completely shutting down?
I know. I'm like, it snows in freaking eastern Tennessee regularly. What's the deal? Whatever. Doesn't snow in Arizona. It does, though. Flagstaff.
Yet we do have many historians throughout the recorded history. We've got people like Marco Polo, and going back even thousands of years.
None of those were historians.
Stories like Beowulf and local town and city stories. So from Roman
Pliny
Empire.
the Elder was a historian, wasn't he?
Who?
Didn't he just show Pliny the Elder? Wasn't he a historian?
Possibly. The part he was scrolling through at the time, though, was Marco Polo, Alexander the Great,
town and
so
city.
forth.
Oh, at least a Pliny.
Yeah, one of the
Pliny
Plinies
the
was very much a historian. So that one I'll give him.
Well, I don't mind the idea of Beowulf because Angelina Jolie played the dragon in that.
I didn't see the movie version. Did they make Grendel a dragon?
No, Grendel was the first one, but the son of Beowulf and what was her name again? Grendel was always a hideous monstrosity. It was the son of Beowulf and Grendel's mother that was the dragon, because she herself is a dragon.
Beowulf slept with Grendel's mom? No wonder Grendel was so pissed.
No, Grendel was dead when he met the mother.
Oh.
Hey, I killed your son. Let's hook up.
Beowulf's an interesting story.
Okay, you probably don't remember the story. The gist is, Grendel was the son of Grendel's mother and the king of the land at that time, because Grendel's mother gave the king power. Then, so Beowulf came in to get his glory. He killed Grendel. Then he met the mother, and the mother offered him power. So he said he took that deal and slept with her, and that's where the dragon comes in which destroyed his rule 20 years later.
Huh.
I'll play. What a Chad.
Oh, boy.
Stories. So from Roman Empire to before even the Jesus Christ timeline, we're going back to, I think it's 3000 BC was the first recorded dragon account. So as we can see, there's Epic of Gilgamesh, Beowulf, even to a few.
A Beowulf.
Beowulf.
It's Bayo. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, according to the new Indiana Jones movie, there were dragons during the siege of Syracuse, and both the Romans and the Greeks recognized the dragons as dragons, so they were clearly in mythology for thousands of years before that point. So, how can you argue with that?
Well, according to Transformers, King Arthur got a
seen
dragon as well.
200 years ago, from Italian, Greek, even English historians, always talking about dragons. Never.
Okay, that's what the words they used were translated into English as. What did they mean in their native language?
If you look at their descriptions, long, serpentine, scaly, with forked tongue. And now, what sort of thing
You mean like a
around the Middle
monitor lizard?
East? No, you can't say that. Wait, Komodo dragon. Never mind.
How about a Nile monitor? I think I have heard it argued that this was actually what King George killed.
It is, because if you actually look at all the earlier motifs, it's forked tongue. It looks like a monitor lizard, and these suckers are huge.
Yeah, especially when George was probably like 5 foot or so.
It was either that or maybe just a Nile crocodile, like a huge Nile crocodile.
It wouldn't have been a huge Nile crocodile. It would have been on the smaller end.
Still, yeah. Like there's a lot of things it
That's
could
true.
be, but it was not a fire-breathing dragon. But he's not, or Howard's not going to tell you that. We call it a dragon today, so it had to be a dragon.
Talking about dinosaurs. As I said, it was only, I think, Sir Richard Owen, who was part of a society, I think it was the Royal Society, that he came up with the name, and since then they started finding the bones that could support the name.
Can you explain why he came up with the name and how? Or would that ruin your story?
Yeah. Also, we've been finding dinosaur bones throughout all of human history. We just had no freaking idea what they were. Same for a lot of extinct animals like mammoths and mastodons.
Yeah, the first one that really got the idea of a dinosaur actually existing was actually a mosasaur skull found in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
That it was like nothing they'd ever seen before. It was okay. We've seen bones, we've seen bits and pieces that we could sort of recognize. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can
come
find the
across
picture, because it's
a
actually a
fossilized
badass
femur,
picture.
and it's clearly a femur. You're like, okay, there was a freakishly huge animal at one point. No big deal. But you find like a mammoth skull, for instance. You're going to be like, holy shit, it's a cyclops,
No,
Yeah.
it's a big elephant or a weird-looking elephant. That's what they would have come up with. They have analogies for what they have nowadays, but if you find the skull of a mosasaur, you have no analogy of it. There's just nothing like it.
Well, I think there is an argument for the ancient Greeks, like seeing a mammoth skull and not being able to relate it to anything else.
Yeah,
I
it's
think that is
kind of what I was getting at.
accepted
Is
consensus.
a lot of people think that's where the myths of Cyclopses came from, because even if you know about elephants, unless you've seen their skull denuded of flesh and that big old opening for the trunk sinus connection area, you're not going to think of that big freaking opening being where the trunk goes. You're going to see the opening and go, oh, that's one giant eyeball,
Mm-hmm. So come on, I know.
Sorry, I'm a little quiet. I'm just doing the thumbnail and actually enjoying myself immensely.
You're fine. Like I know I've seen art of it before, but art of the Mosasaurus skull, like in a quarry with workmen like surrounding it. Like, what the hell is this? Because like What is this? What is this monster?
Makes me think of a giant angry bird. Like really, really angry, so it's got angry teeth.
Well, there's a link to what the skull actually looked like, because that's the actual replica of it.
Yeah, it was pretty it was a little disarticulated.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot disarticulated, actually. Wow.
Here's
All right.
here's a more clear illustration of it.
Oh,
That awkward
Yeah.
moment when the illustrations are more clear than the photos.
I don't think that's unusual. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, illustrations are usually meant to show everything better.
Because you have more control over the shading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with these people he's quoting, is he the kind of creationist that is like anyone else who isn't like he's like the Bible is king truth and like anything else is balderdash? Like what kind of creationist is he?
I believe so. Yes. You get a lot of overlap between flat earthers and young Earth creationists. That they hinge their sort of evidences on the biblical account,
So
and I don't think Howard's any different. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think overlap's a bit of an understatement, Mark. It's a smaller circle within a larger circle.
Mm-hmm. The reason I
Well-
asked is because sorry, go ahead.
No, you go, Jessica. Go on.
The reason I ask is because it's interesting that he's quoting these people that like their own mythos, and normally they're like, no, like our truth is king, but he's like, however, when considering dragons, I'm going to refer to other people. So it's interesting that he's willing to step outside of his truth when it comes to dragons.
But only when it confirms his preconceptions.
Right, exactly. I'm like, that's very interesting. That normally you're like, no, these people are wrong. They speak sin, but he's like, nope, this time it's fine.
Well, it depends on the flavor you get them, basically. So a lot of them will do this, and young Earth creationists, or yerfers as we call them, will do the same. They'll basically go to scientific articles and things like that to sort of support their central argument. But a lot of the time when they're in their environment with people that support them, they will only refer to, let's start with the Bible kind of thing. They'll start there. When they go and do debates and are actually outside that circle, they will go, oh, let's look at the scientific evidence, where it's like, well, really, is that really what you're, you start with? Because it doesn't seem like it most of the time.
Right.
So I think it's because he is outside of his usual circle. He's starting, he's sort of trying to appeal on your level, and you see a lot of them do this.
That makes sense.
Narrative. Yet, strange enough, there's no depictions, there's no historical accounts from anybody in history before Richard Owen came up with the name dinosaurs. They were always considered to have been dragons, giants, and other beasts of large proportions. You see, there's lots of depictions of snakes, reptiles.
That is an interesting thumbnail, Mark.
And does he realize
that
what
is
that
an
was?
interesting thumbnail?
Look, I just whipped it up.
That was fast work. Very impressive.
And
My skills
does he
come
not realize what that hieroglyphs was actually representing?
Oh, of course he doesn't.
Oh,
He just wants to
light
pop
bulbs?
it up on the screen.
Yeah, that's a reference to the Baghdad battery.
Yeah, but it's really an illustration of the Egyptian creation myth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the lotus and
Yeah.
the serpent and shit.
Yeah, but he's going with the Baghdad, or not the Baghdad battery. This is, I forget what it's called, but Denderolite.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Milo from Mini Minuteman did a wonderful video on it. Also, we have a Bree who seems to be
getting
lighting
stoned.
something up.
It's a bee.
Okay.
Did you think I was going to come in here and listen to Howard without lighting something up first? Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
No,
look,
I don't blame
if
you.
I've got to do it, you've got to do it.
I'm here, yeah. Mark, you look cozy as F. Yeah. Why are you so
This
cozy?
is my hoodie. if you're not familiar with a hoodie, they're basically like a hoodie but made of wool, and they are so like gloriously comfortable. It's just insane.
I have
So-
two. Yeah, I'm familiar. They are.
Oh
so
yeah. I love it, and they give the
It's
best
like-
hugs when you're in them. Like seriously, it's just a
It's in
hug
peak
aid.
cold season down there, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's very early in the morning for me, so I got up at like 6 for this one, which was
Man,
Yeah.
I'll trade you the
I-
weather. I hate
I
it when
have
it gets hot
regrets.
up here.
I don't think I've met Jess before. Have we met?
No, we haven't. This is my
Hi,
first
I'm
time on
Bree.
a live. Hello.
Mine too. Good to meet you. I'm Bree.
Hello.
All right.
Oh, by the
Please
way,
tell,
Bree,
um,
if you want to simulcast this to your channel, feel free. Just a thing we're trying out, seeing how it works.
Yeah.
how'd you
So
turn
where-
that on, by the way? Just
what
I'll
all
ask you
channels
after.
are we on?
It's just in settings.
Oh,
It's
okay.
in the guests section.
Yeah, there's a little toggle switch. Guests can simulcast or some phrasing like that.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I feel like we're part of a big community, like with all the chat showing up from sort of everybody's stream.
Exactly.
It's fantastic.
We are the evolutionists.
So,
So,
I missed
are
the,
they
the conversation. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh.
Well, I just wanted to ask: do the people in my chat see what happens in like Ember's chat? See?
Unfortunately,
I don't
no.
think so.
Unless
that's a shame.
if a chat gets highlighted, then everybody will see it on the screen.
Well, on the screen, sure.
But the
yeah,
chats don't actually
Yeah.
talk to each other directly, which is
Yeah.
the one downfall of this. But it's still fun.
And like I said earlier, this way, like, all of us get a little bit of something out of it. Like, we get more people watching the stream, and you guys
Yeah.
get to be compensated a little bit for being on my
Can-
show.
Can I just because you all were talking about the possibility of St. George, what it was that I just wanted to offer the African rock python just as an option as well. Probably more likely than the crocodile, but less likely than the monitor lizard.
Maybe.
Mm.
I mean,
Because it's described
like-
as a serpent, I believe. Or at least it's translated as serpent in some.
but I feel like the thing is, any living animal explanation is more likely than a actual dragon, and much less a dinosaur.
But you can't prove it's not a dinosaur. Well,
It's
actually,
just-
we can't.
Well, there's certain characteristics we look for if it was a dinosaur, though, right? They would
Yeah,
describe
like it
something
wouldn't have a
much more.
forked tongue.
They'd be looking for something much more. They would be described as more bird-like. They would have described it as a giant bird, probably. A theropod.
And Bree,
Maybe.
the description's always described long serpentine with legs.
Yeah, which would go along with more like. I want to say that they may have been talking about cetacins or the basis with cetacins, but it's
Celians?
cetacins, whales.
No, but the
Cetaceans.
yeah,
Beamsy's talking about like St. George's dragon.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that wasn't a I say
Cetacean.
cetacins. You say cetaceans.
Cetacean. It's cetacean.
And
Cetacin.
that's why it would have either been a crocodile or a Nile monitor, because both of them are long serpentine, 4 legs covered in scales. But the forked tongue is what gives it away as a Nile monitor.
That is true. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true.
But you say Cassalian. Are you sure it's cetacean, not cetacin?
Yes.
It is cetacean.
cetacean.
That's so weird.
Don't worry, I do that all the time, Brie. I like mispronounce words and then find out later.
You keep calling me a Dinosuchus.
Dinosuchus?
Yeah.
Suchus?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's like
A Dinosuchus is a 40-foot long alligator.
Okay. Look, I'm not going to apologize. I just
he's a Deinonychus, not a
No,
Dinocurus.
seriously, I loved this word and I kept pronouncing it petrichor, and then I found out it was petrichor, and like I told people how it was my favorite. I'd been pronouncing my favorite word wrong for years, and it's like, wow, that's
Okay, here's one for you. I was an avid reader. Well, I'm still an avid reader, but I was an avid reader when I was little. And there's a word in books, and then there's another word that people say epitome, and I deduced from context it has the same meaning as this word in books, but the word in the book I always mentally had as epitome. So when I said
Same here,
epitome,
same
people
here.
laughed
Same here.
at me.
Yep. Hey, I did that one as well, epitome.
Another
think it's
dinosaur
just-
one was Diplodocus. I used to say Diplodocus instead of Diplodocus.
Well,
when I was
British people
a
say
kid.
Still say
Diplodocus.
Diplodocus.
You still say
It depends on your
Diplodocus?
accent, honestly.
Yeah.
Americans say
Diplodocus.
Diplodocus, British
Confused
say
me.
Diplodocus.
You know what? I think mispronouncing words like it sometimes is that people read a lot, kind of thing. You know, like because there's no pronunciation guide in books. Like, well, not sort of just random novels and you know non-fiction.
Except Tolkien.
So it was a completely separate word. It was the
Yeah, but he was
Caecilians,
special.
Mm-hmm.
the other group of amphibians besides frogs and salamanders. The Caecilians, they're like wormy. They don't have legs. That's why I thought it was citizen, because it's spelled exactly like the same as that at the end, I guess. I'm weird.
That's why we love you, Bree.
And now we're looking.
We are an hour in and like 5 minutes into his intro, and this is supposed to be the short part of the night.
We need to get back to the skeletal remains.
Alrighty.
Lizards being from a higher dimension, like energy in Cambodia and places I've visited. People.
And we've started getting into the Howard portion.
Oh no, this is going downhill.
Oh, Howard.
That's a pretty cool shot, though.
Fourth dimension. I'm ready.
It is a pretty cool shot, you know, of the Tesseract. That's cool.
But what is a fourth dimensional representation of a geometric shape got to do with dragons?
They
Because
disappeared
Howard,
into the fourth dimension or something.
and they came from the fourth dimension.
To which they returned, leaving only their bones behind.
That's how they understand the snakes in all of their depictions. So what would a higher dimensional being look like? Well, we can only have mirrors and cartoons help us understand what a fourth dimensional cube, a tesseract, would look like. So what would a higher dimensional being look like? To us, we would only see the 3D version, just like a 2D would only see a slice of a finger if we were to poke our finger into a 2D world. So it's understandable that there'd be misconceptions, and that a lot of these depictions that are in stone and also scripture.
Okay, but
Wait,
you
is
see,
he-
the text right above that pictograph tells you what is going on, Howard.
Yeah, but I want to know, like, does he think that dinosaurs are like the three-dimensional projection of a four-dimensional finger? Like, it's just like, rawr, rawr, kind of thing.
What would the
Appears to
whole
be,
dino
yes.
look like? Holy crap.
It's a fourth dimensional.
What does this
dinosaur.
hieroglyphic here have to do with dinosaurs, though? I don't see any dinosaurs in this image. Do you?
They think they're
must-
light bulbs.
What if all dinosaurs were just finger puppets of a great, big, fourth dimensional dinosaur? Like, flittering around and yeah.
So
What
here's the
what if
thing.
we're all fourth dimensional finger puppets of a dinosaur?
I thought
I
you
mean,
were
they-
fourth-dimensional Bumblebee.
Yeah. So is
I always
Doc
figured we
Dino
were video
Kira.
game characters.
And can I just clarify, it's the fourth spatial dimension too? 'Cause,
Yes,
like,
yes.
You know,
I know, it always bugs me a little bit too, because I'm like, we already have a fourth dimension, but details.
yeah. Fourth spatial dimension, sure. Well, I've seen this before, and the reason why I know it's kind of related to von Daniken's Chariot of the Gods, where they basically say, hey, these were obviously light bulbs kind of thing. And it's like, because they've got the filament and they've got the wire traveling.
Lindsay has an illustration of what's going on here.
I mean, I made the joke, but I didn't think he was serious.
Those are
Arr.
fantastic. Except for the 4 feet of the ceratopsian. What's up with that?
Oh, jeez, yeah. It's a weird ass Protoceratops, or the Psittacosaurus.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
No, that was a good one. Just
Good
like,
timing,
oh,
Trying
too.
to explain
Howard.
something to us in a simple way for us to understand. The Bible talks about Leviathan being a crooked serpent, a dragon that's in the sea, and he also
Is this
does
heavy metal
mention
lyrics?
that,
Oh my goodness.
I just cut my hair, so I can't headbang properly.
There's a devil in the sea.
Leviathan was a crocodile. Just
And Jeremiah was a
A
bullfrog.
cetacean. Leviathan.
no. Leviathan was a crocodile, not a cetacean.
But
Wait, where's the asterisk go?
it snooted
Oh.
out it snooted out the water, and they thought it was breathing fire.
The word dinosauria, like he has an asterisk properly. He's
Mhm.
done a double. Yeah. Anyway, maybe
You want to
term
read
was
this out loud
inspired-
to us, Mark? I'd really like to hear this in your
Isaiah
accent.
27:1. In the day the Lord with his sword, great and strong sword, shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea. Job 41, 14 to 24 plus 34. What the hell? All right, well, why not?
Do you add in verses like that?
Hey,
The thing is,
by the way,
Dinosauria-
for you
Hang on, that's
Aussies,
14.
Damn it, I'm in
14
Bible
minus-
study
behold
again.
a yip.
I think I
They-
can solve this. That is a dino rat.
That,
is what that
yeah, I
is.
was going to say, that looks
Behold a
like a
bunyip.
croco-rat.
That's the
Onion.
Ambulocetus who made the deal with the devil to be the lords of the sea in exchange for their souls.
Hang on, I think I can work this out. It's 14 minus 24, which is negative 10, plus 34. So that's 24 is the answer to that.
There's the Bible code. Hold on, I'm gonna.
It is.
smoke
It
out
is.
my
It's
nostrils.
numerology at its best. Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible roundabout. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. They are joined to one another. They stick together that they cannot be sundered. By his nacings. What the hell is a nacing? What the? Anybody know what this
No
word is?
frickin' idea.
It's a sneeze or a snort. What the fuck?
Okay.
By his
Oh.
sneezings a light. By his sneeze a light doth shine. No, that can't be right.
He's snorting fire.
This
That's what
is
I was
like-
saying. That's why I think it's a whale, because it's snorting the water out of its nostrils when it surfaces, and I think that they're breathing fire.
Yeah.
I
And his
think it's-
eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and spark of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. Who was high when they wrote this?
There's a lot of coals in the sea, you know.
This is about Snoop Dogg, right?
Yeah, right,
no,
right.
they're describing
absolutely.
a crocodile for some weird reason.
Oh, okay. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They are turbid. They cannot be removed. His heart is as firm as a stone. Yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. He beholdeth all high things. He is king over all the children of pride. Oh, well, at least they've got pride. Well done.
Also,
Bible,
the word
impressive.
dinosauria is rooted
Awesome.
in Greek and frequently quoted as meaning terrible lizard. Maybe it was inspired by the Bible. I
My
mean,
dude.
I,
He just made an argument against his own point anyway.
it's just Richard Owen was a devout Christian.
very
As
devout.
Gee, I
Well,
wonder if he
Owen-
could have been inspired by the Bible.
Richard Owen did some awful things in the name of creationism. I'm going to say that right now.
Oh, yeah.
And
There's
Richard
some shady-
Owen, yes, he was very, very dishonest, had a big beef with Darwin, and did some very, very claimed other people's discoveries for himself. He also is the reason why you can visit museums, because he, in his sort of typical Richard Owen-y way, put forward to charge people for going into museums, because before that, only people with in academia could visit museums, and he had the idea to charge the public.
He was the first one to rebuild to reconstruct an extinct. It was a moa. So the dinosaur. He reconstructed that. He was the first person to do to do
Yeah,
that
right.
and put it on display. So he did do some great good stuff too, but you
Yeah.
know, it's like Mussolini got the trains to run on time, but
Right.
And they always go to the literal translation for dinosaur, which does translate to terrible lizard, but it means most fearful lizard. That's what it was referring to.
Fearfully great is how I've heard
Yeah.
it translated.
Most fearful lizard or fearfully great.
terrible like Ivan the Terrible.
Gratefully fearful.
Hmm.
Mm.
Or
It's
I've heard you can also like
awe-inspiring.
translate it as like awesome reptile, like it inspires awe through fear.
I think Ivan
Oh.
the Terrible
Dragon.
explains that in the movie Night at the Museum. It's a mistranslation.
And he also does mention that fire might come out of the mouth. And it also mentions in scripture that Satan or Saturn
What is this?
eats
Is it-
What is
babies
this?
because
That's when the
it's,
Fire Nation attacked.
eating
Yes.
young to
Yes,
stop
that's
itself
a
from.
Oh, here are the four
Death.
nations.
So we see
they're
this
there.
kind of imagery in lots of multinational logos that are all connected to the United Nations, which is quite worrying because
There's
if there is
word
hidden
in.
Illuminati
Okay.
confirmed.
So what is the art here? Because isn't this Saturn eating his son?
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Kronos.
I thought it was Saturn.
A little of each.
Oh, did they both do it?
Yeah. The myths kind of
Greek and
Ah,
Roman.
cover over.
So,
It's believed that Jupiter's mom knew what to tell Jupiter to overthrow Saturn because Saturn had to do the same thing to Uranus.
Why?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, you are incorrigible.
That was full circle. I mean, thank
Mhm.
you.
All right, been a good stream. Night, everybody.
Tip your waitresses.
Yeah, this is you leave on the high note.
symbology in
going
all
on
of
here
these
now.
big corporations that are supposed to be representing us. If they have corporate,
I'm
Here it
sorry.
goes.
What the
Dinosaurs are the devil, which are controlling the world. I don't
I just-
even know. Howard
Starts going more Howard.
What do
Oh,
we
I
got here?
Maximum
Sega,
over Howard.
Sega
I warned
Saturn.
Johnny. I warned him.
Uber Howard.
Yeah, the baby eater is everywhere. You look at all the Saturn symbols.
Saturn symbol. Wi-Fi is a Saturn symbol. I don't.
Obviously, Universal Studios.
So let me
Look
get
at the
this straight.
freaking light. Bud
No.
Light.
The best one is Burger King, which obviously is not a burger, right? It's not a burger.
Are you
Even
sure?
though,
Or
like,
is it Whirlpool? Is it the fucking hot tub company?
don't they do washing
That's what they
machines
do,
and
right?
Yeah, I think it's washing
no.
machines.
stuff?
The
And-
evil,
and
the
And
evil
Capital One
sinful
with the
washing
fucking
machines.
swoosh. And Nike with the swoosh.
Boeing swooshes, Capital One swooshes.
Wait, Target? Are you serious? That's not just a bullseye. It's Saturn in actuality. Are you serious?
It's a very, very and the Universal logo, which is literally the planet Earth.
And I will tell you right now that literally the Target logo is the only one on here besides that one that's literally Saturn that actually looks like Saturn. The Target logo matches better than any other.
But look at the one on the right, second row down. It's the Wi-Fi connection symbol. Like, it's not even like, what are you talking about, Howard? It
Wait a
represents
second.
like
The Sega Saturn, that old ass game console.
Sega's last try, yeah.
looks like Satanism went bankrupt.
Yep. Now we're all set. Hey, you know what all of us secularists say around the end of year holidays? Happy Saturnalia. So
I don't think I've ever said that once, but I'm going to now just to spite Howard.
Yeah. See you next Saturnalia, Howard. Yeah.
For those who don't know Howard, this is what he does every frickin' debate. regardless of the topic. It just goes absolutely batshit insane.
With his whole chest. Says this with his whole chest. Oh my god.
We're just getting started.
Corporations and organizations that have hidden agendas, then it might be a concern worth investigating, because it looks like we're not being told the truth about our history. We can see
Can I
lots of
tell you
evidence.
something horrifying, and brace yourself for this?
Please
I
do.
looked quickly on Howard's channel when I was doing the thumbnail to get his picture. He does street epistemology, so he goes up to people on the street and tells them this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That must be fun.
Oh,
Yeah, he does.
I got to watch some of that sometime.
There's
and
just
see
so
how
much
insane it can be.
incredulity in this second meme here, the one on the right.
Yeah.
There's just you just gotta think that people from the past were like total morons. Like everybody was dumb. There's no way they could do this. It had to be aliens.
Well, of course it was aliens. It's always
No,
aliens.
it wasn't aliens. It was fourth dimensional beings, Bree.
Fourth dimensional.
They had cranes. They had
Dragons.
mechanical aids to build those. Why
And
did
why-
they say it was just horses and sticks? No, it was with steel and tool and a lot of heavy tools.
It took me a second to realize that wasn't crinoids there.
I don't know what the hell these are.
Fun. That's what they are. They are tons of fun.
Evidence
I love
worldwide that
spectrograms.
history, that ancient civilizations were quite advanced. Yet again, the United
World Heritage Sites? Why are you showing World Heritage Sites, Howard?
Because the Great Barrier Reef is a World Heritage Site and a conspiracy.
Howard, why?
Nations
Howard,
are
why?
making sure that everybody sees otherwise. We don't just see dragons in stone and in history. We also see them on maps from all over the world.
You know, maps. Maps are never a work of history. Or could be considered a historical document.
Throughout history. So just like historians like to be taken seriously, map makers want to sell their maps. They don't want to lose business for putting something that isn't true. So when we see these depictions, they might be explaining that there are dragons,
Draco?
lizards, serpents in higher dimensions. And like the Bible says in the Lord's Prayer,
Ooh, got some revelations going
on earth as in heaven. Maybe it's saying that what happens in the stars and the heavens above will manifest and happen in our reality at some point in time as well. Because there's lots of talk about the devil being a serpent. There's lots of talk about the devil being a sea dragon. There's lots of talk about all of the fallen angels, what we call planets, having manifested in different parts of the world throughout time.
Oh,
What?
Ozzy Gold in your chat, Mark, seems to think I'll be debating on dragons. Not with him. Not with him. This hurts my
you've
head
got
enough
to
as an
debate
audience
Howard.
member.
You've got to debate Howard at least once, just to get that feeling, that surreal feeling of like what madness it is. It's an Alice in Wonderland feeling. You're like, this rabbit hole keeps going. I don't.
Yeah.
I only
Oh,
talked to Howard briefly. I didn't-
Howard tries to warn you. He's like, you're about to be dropped into four-dimensional space.
No,
I
like,
can dig it.
no. No.
Four-dimensional.
Look,
See,
one
that's
of
the
two
problem.
things would
That's why
happen. Sorry, one of two things would happen. Either I would blow up at him, or he would make my head explode. Those are
When
the only
is
two
your,
options that can result from us colliding.
You went on the open mic, didn't you? Did you do the open mic on Donnie's?
Yeah, I argued with Hoven for like
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. So have you talked to Donnie since about getting a debate up and running? And he knows
I
you're not-
have actually.
Oh, good
Sounds
stuff.
like I might get a debate with Kent, which I could do with a better debate partner, but I have told Donnie that I want it to be like specific on one topic, which I know
You'll
Kent's
never-
probably not going to stick to, but
Yes. Yeah.
at least if he deviates from it, I can call him out on it for being a dishonest hack.
And do so. Yes, definitely do so.
Oh yeah, I did it. I did it literally constantly in the open mic, and it got him pissed off.
Well, that's cool. Well, definitely keep me updated because I definitely want to be in the chat when that happens.
What's the
Like,
topic
you
going
know.
to be?
Sure,
Do
sure.
you know?
Let me pull the email back up. I think it's either going to be Noah's flood or evolution in a particular lineage of animal. That's what I'm asking for. I've given Kent 3 options: either the bird lineage, the whale lineage, or the human lineage.
They're kinds. Thank you very much.
Well, so he can choose one of the 3, and I will be happy to debate him on it. Well, happy's not the right word. I'll be excited to shred an old man, which I don't know what that says about me.
That sounds kind of
Elderly.
OnlyFans-ish.
It does a little.
Am I the only
Okay.
one that now just pictured Dino picking up Ken Hovind and shredding him like a guitar and using?
Oh, yeah, that could be
Oh,
fun
Oh,
too.
no, yes, you are the
My-
only one. I did not
My-
think of that.
Look, the name of my genus literally translates to terrible claw. Cut me some slack.
Shreds of Hawaiian shirt flying.
To shreds, you say? Yes.
Yeah, but my brain went straight to picking up Ken Hovind and just starts shredding and using the toggle handle excessively. It just, why is my brain like that?
That's between
Because you're
you and your
weird.
We
psychiatrist.
wouldn't have you any other way, Beamsy.
Which one? I've gone through 7 of them.
Oh, fair.
To shreds, you say? I can't do a professor voice. I'm not old enough. Oh, no! Shoot, where were we?
Uh-oh.
Oh, we broke it.
We've hit the 4th dimension. Watch out.
No, I remember that question from Praise.
I think
Praise the idiot.
Do you actually believe
we're at,
D
okay, we were at
evolved
2110.
into chickens?
Yeah, that. No. Not now. No.
They're not even of that lineage. It's just no.
Look, if I get into that, this whole stream's gonna get sidetracked. Let's let Howard do the
Manifested in
Howard.
different parts of the world throughout time to given people false beliefs and taken worship. We even see in the book of Enoch that there's a lot
there
of
it is.
talk about how they changed their orbits and wanted to go their own way. So when we see similar depictions in South America and the Middle East, it's probably because the people really did see these things, and that the heavens are infinite like pi, where the earth is solid.
He just keeps going.
So there's 6 different directions.
He just keeps
If
going.
I'm keeping you guys up, we can go into detail afterwards. So understanding the heavens would also affect our worldview and our personal insight. So it's worrying that
What the hell?
Oh, let me absorb this for a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Wow. Evidence things were larger.
Okay. But what is Mount Bean Cove Fossil Museum? I feel like this is a fake giant.
It's not fake. The fossil is real, but the interpretation isn't.
Isn't that from an ancient camel or something? If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh no. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's from some large mammal, but I can't. Yeah, Young Earth Creationist Museum. Yeah, go figure.
You'll never
Oh,
get
apparently the
an
owner died
analysis
earlier
of
this
it.
year.
Maybe you can get an analysis of it now.
Oh, I know what it's from.
It's-
It's Howard's mama.
Yeah,
Roasting.
I don't know.
That's a
No, I can't
6,000-pound
say that.
ass.
I can't say that. Never mind.
What, you can't make Yo Mama jokes? Just because Yo Mama laid eggs, trust
No,
me,
no,
it's fair game in our
wanted to
culture.
I wanted to make a joke about his mama, but it would have been not a good idea.
Yeah, but the thing is, can you see how it's curved and not straight like the diagram, and it doesn't quite connect at the knee?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it could be malnutrition.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that.
No, it doesn't. But it could have been.
Mhm.
Obviously, a childhood injury. Poor little giant.
Apparently, there was a research paper to try and figure out what it is. I can't. Not sure. I'm not sure what it is, but also
Mount
this
Blanco.
giant head's just kind of been lurking here.
Mm-hmm.
That thing, I know the background of this Supreme Court thing. I'll see if I can find it, but it actually was a article in a parody paper, right? So they said they destroyed all of these
Giant bones.
giant bones, right? But in actual fact, that was from a parody newspaper, and I think it was called World News Daily or something.
Ah,
And
yes.
it was a parody that then got sort of bandied about by the creationists, and they think
Of course it did.
they think it's real. I'll see if I can find it, but don't hold me to that. Yeah. I'll see
In
if
the
I can find
meantime,
it.
I'm just gonna go ahead and let it play.
Organizations like the Smithsonian
The what now?
Institute.
The Smithsonian?
Smithsonian.
The Smithsonian, yeah.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
hiding the
Haven't you
evidence
heard
that
of
things were
the incredibly beloved and high reputation of the Smithsonian?
Yeah.
in the past, even though we see
By the way, I've been there. Everyone, go there at least once in your life. It's really, really freaking cool.
Oh yeah,
There's
I
a
need
lot
to
of
go
great
back.
stuff.
I only had time to hit up the airplane museum. Yeah, they have several different museums all along the mall. It isn't just one thing. There's lots of different things. So yes, a lot of time.
Yeah, what me and my family figured out is you want to budget like 5 hours per museum, so do maybe like 2 a day. Or 3 if you're not super interested in one and just want to walk through.
see it again in scripture, we see it in temple doors all over the
Yes,
world.
big doors.
We even see that in nectar there was a higher level of oxygen in the past, which goes
Sorry, in the nectar. You mean in the amber, right, Howard?
But what about the amber nectar? Or
Uh,
the
biblical
nectarine amber?
story that things
never
were
know.
bigger.
You never know. It could have been ambergris.
From the whales?
Yeah, sure.
Whale
Sure.
vomit.
Amber is not even from the same. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
Things like trees. So obviously lizards would be bigger too, as well as people. So
Okay, first, not lizards. Second, not necessarily.
Because date palms only grow to one size, like that's definitely the size that date palms are. All like if you see a smaller tree, it's not a date palm. It can't be. They don't grow from a seed or anything. They just arrive fully grown.
They pop in fully formed from the fourth spatial dimension.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's how God does it too. Things
And
popping in. Yeah.
And there was a lizard that I think he would love to play with that was alive in the time of humans called the Megalania.
And that couldn't be a child on the right hand side. I love how he's got to point
Yeah.
out that those people are humans. Like I wouldn't have known if he hadn't put the label over the middle photo of human. I would have thought they were like, monkeys or something.
The one on the left definitely looks like somebody giving their kid something to drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh no, it's a tiny human.
Have a juice box.
Juice box of the giants.
So would they be demigods? Would they be fallen angels? Would they be Nephilim? There's a whole debate there on its own. But we definitely
Or would they just be adults?
Well, the Book of Enoch clearly shows that there were definitely Nephilims floating around. And
Clearly.
something.
Yes.
Noah's flood.
I'm sorry. I didn't doubt you for a second.
Serious depictions and sculptures of giants and things built for giants and things that look like they were built by giants.
It's a big freaking bell, Howard. It's
That
just
is-
a
that
big
is a big bell.
People can say, I want to build a really big bell too. You don't have to be a giant to say, hey, I want to make a really big bell.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a requirement.
No, he just wants to show something that there's a bigger dingaling than he is.
That's a fair point.
Well, or else
So
Howard just
why
likes big dongs. Howard just loves big dongs.
I mean, who doesn't, though, you know?
Why not? Yeah.
Would we be having this debate?
You
Because I
humans are
believe
strange.
that dinosaurs are a fake narrative to hide giants, dragons, and our true history timeline, and even our to distort our worldview. So giant trees seem to be everywhere. We now call them mesas. They look like they've been chopped down.
You mean a mesa, Howard?
Well, that one I can chalk up to accent, but come
Yeah,
on.
Don't you? You can tell that when you look at a mesa that it's a giant tree stump, though, right, guys?
I mean, Devil's Tower is clearly a giant tree.
Clearly.
What are you talking about?
I'm just trying to follow his line of logic, but this seems more like a squiggle of logic.
It's a curly Q.
We get petrified wood. We get buildings that look like they've melted or been petrified. And we get large-looking vegetable-like stone formations.
Vegetable-like.
Oh, just
Oh.
wait. I see meaty colored rock.
Are we doing
Oh
meat?
no.
Petrified meat? This is like Roger level.
Oh, no.
Is it-
Yeah.
Beamsy, are you ready to? Are you ready for Howard to show you his meat?
Oh, no.
That's
Ready to dig into
Himalayan salt. That's
Wait, Jess has never heard that before, probably. I don't know if you've heard this one. Have you encountered somebody talking about meaty rocks before?
No, I have not.
Oh,
this is
don't
glorious.
spoil it, Mark.
Strap
Don't
yourself
spoil it,
in.
Mark.
I'm
not,
ready.
not,
I'm ready.
Definitely.
As well as scripture again telling us that there would be melting buildings with burnt sulfur and rain. We also have the coastlines worldwide as well as riverbeds that are two completely different environments, one with the river water flowing one way and the coastline water flowing in multiple directions, yet we see evidence of a worldwide flood
His
worldwide,
freaking hearts.
like I say, in the riverbeds and in the coastlines specifically.
Wait,
With the freaking
Like-
hearts.
it's Medusa. It's a Gorgon.
My guy. Oh my god.
They turn their hearts to stone with their stare.
I don't remember Medusa being in the Bible. Have I not read the Bible? My memories.
It's in the second book of Enoch.
Yeah. Welcome to Howard, Jess.
Wow.
We're getting
Like,
into his
right-
stones.
Just trying to make sense of wow, this is really heart shaped. It must be a heart.
So
Oh my
maybe the Messiah was actually Perseus. Was it Perseus that slew Medusa? I think it was.
Could be.
Yes, Perseus did. At least in the Clash of the Titans. I don't know about in the actual mythology.
No, in the mythology, I think it was Perseus as well. Yeah, so
Where you would expect different formations, we get 2: oval or shaped like a harp. And the harp shape.
Also, I was confused about this for frickin' ever. He is saying harp with a P, not
I think it's
harp
just his accent.
with a T.
I think it's just his accent.
I was going to
No,
say that
no,
it
he
looks more
writes it
like
out. It's
a tooth to me, but
He writes it out. It is a harp. HARP.
Oh,
Like a harp.
These are his harp-shaped stones.
I want a harp. I want a doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
liar.
I have a mandolin.
Those are nice too.
Always have the up to 20 features that correlate.
Say, Bree, if you want to provide some background music when we get to the tier list, that'd be fine. I don't know how well you can play well high, but
I usually play
Brave,
better
brave
high.
Sir Robin, brave Sir Robin.
with the anatomy of a heart. So
Well, it
people
will
are
beat the
making
banjo
their own
music I'm hearing when he's speaking.
Fair.
Ding, 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 ding. This is just getting further and further down the banjo line.
I think he's playing the banjo in a pool of moonshine. Like an Olympic-sized swimming pool of moonshine.
My daddy brother
Observations.
who
This
looks
is
after
my
me
friend
well.
Mike Wilkerson's collection. He has got the YouTube channel Stellium7, and he can show the harp shape.
What do you know? When you search for rocks that have a specific shape, you wind up finding rocks with that specific shape.
Uh-huh.
I could look for rocks that are shaped like a T, and I'd probably find a lot of rocks that are shaped like a T.
What
Does
about
that mean
rocks that are
this
shaped
was
like a
real because I
D?
have rocks shaped like a cross?
What about rock shaped like a D? I don't mean
Are you
the
looking
letter.
for the debris?
Sometimes.
I mean, I'll have to look through debris to find. Oh,
The D.
humans are weird.
Yes.
Time and time again, always with evidence of the aorta at the top, a
Oh, the
twisted
Always.
bottom, because when it contracts, it kind of tightens like a rope. Meatier colours when they get wet, and also darker on the interior where they haven't been so much bleached by the sun. We wouldn't expect these shapes to keep reappearing. Oval, yes. Rounded, yes, but not the heart shape. So it's very interesting, and I recommend that everybody get into it for themselves. Along River.
Beamsy, do you have any thoughts?
Somebody overcooked that bacon. It's a crime.
Humans are so good at pattern finding. It's ridiculous. And they're like, I found this pattern, so it must be true. And we talk.
The one on the left looks like pie with powdered sugar on it.
It looks like a Turkish delight.
Pie.
Oh my god.
Let me see. Turkish delight.
I love Turkish delight.
Oh, boy.
It's just
Bacon.
no.
Oh, definitely. It definitely looks like Turkish delight. You nailed it.
It's great.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. It's mined right out of the earth.
Also,
That
Beamsy, fun
explains a lot.
meme, but I'm not showing that on stream. Fun meme, though.
Hey, it's why I never need to worry about the petrification.
The beds and coastlines, and also in valleys, you'll find pebbles, smooth stones that are either oval, rounded, or they're heart-shaped. There's about 15
Earth bacon.
to 20% average of the pebbles will be heart-shaped, and the best explanation we've got is a worldwide flood.
No.
No! God damn it, Howard!
No.
Keep in mind, this is about dinosaurs. Like,
It's
In
way
theory.
off.
See,
you got to remind yourself that. Okay.
this is why no one really debates Howard, because, like, if like I could see, this is the very first debate where the moderator has to interrupt the opening statement to get the interlocutor back on topic. You know.
But what have we gone through? We've gone through multiple different ideas of gods, for conspiracy theories to
Big
meat
buildings.
fossils.
The fourth dimension.
The fourth dimension, yeah, let's not forget that.
He sidetracks the conversation worse than we do, and he's doing it to himself.
I know, it takes 6 of us, and we're not even a match for one Howard.
Right.
Do you
This is-
see
I
why
told
this
him
isn't
last
a
time
drinking stream?
Well, last time I debated him, I said, like, you do not stay on topic. Like, I don't want to debate you anymore because we go off on some random topic that isn't even the topic of the debate. Last time I debated him, it was on, what was it on? I think it was on dinosaurs, and we ended up at Dracula. And it was just like,
Yeah, it was.
what the
Hey,
hell?
Dinosaur Dracula produces some quality content, I will have you know.
Yeah.
Baby Raptor Jesus.
We have scientific experiments using microwaves, plasma,
What
and
the fuck
some
are you doing?
powders, chemical powders. We
You
can
know,
actually
Playing with a
reproduce
microwave.
the second hardest gem on the hardness scale, which is rubies. So
Making
we can
rubies in a
literally
microwave,
create
apparently.
rubies in a matter of, I think it's
Where
20
are you guys on the
seconds.
hardness scale right now? Just on a scale, the
Oh.
hardness scale, 1 to 10.
I'm not going to answer that.
I'm going negative here. Just it's sort of. Congratulations, Howard. You're the biggest boner killer out there.
Love that.
That's a bold statement.
And I don't think
I mean,
Dracula Rex has been claimed. So if somebody wanted to grab that name for a screen name, that'd be great.
I mean, I think he's actually beat by Hoven talking about making babies. That for me is just the worst thing ever. That is nightmare. So I think Hoven's got him beat, quite frankly.
Also, Bree, there's a dinosaur that we'll meet tonight that might give that name a run for its money.
Oh, Draco
Actually,
Rex.
at least no, there's at least 2.
Ah,
So
let's
yeah,
have a
that'll be
look.
fun.
So
I think
imagine
he's almost
a
done.
worldwide flood with
Gods, I hope so.
supernatural abilities. When God said, "Let there be light," imagine what he could say to get everything to petrify. When everything's already submerged
Go hard or
in
go home.
water that's conductive. So we can see on stones iron ore, which we
No!
find in blood, and we also find on mountaintops what looks like trabecula carne, if I'm saying that right.
No, you never.
No,
I don't even know what he said. Taracula carne.
spongy bone, the bone part of spongy bone. And
Okay.
it's just no, Howard. No.
That's a
Oh,
limestone.
I see, because the cut's little rivulets in it. It looks like spongy bone. Nifty.
Uh-huh. That's his evidence.
And we also find channels in stones that are going horizontally with earth and iron ore still oozing out. And some of these stones, as you can see here, are much higher than the earth. So why earth?
Are they? You don't give us a sense of scale, Howard.
Well,
I can believe that's-
Oozing out.
there's like grass and shit nearby. That's kind
yeah,
of
but
scale-ish.
That could be either 3 inches high or 30 feet high. Like,
Well, he doesn't have any giants to show you the scale. They're not around, so you know.
Well, he needs the ultimate precision instrument of all qualified scientists, a feather.
Banana.
Oh,
Banana.
yes, absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, for
I mean-
Roger. Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I
what
was
he
going to
used to
say,
point.
like, Beamsy, you know how I know he doesn't know anything about geology? No rock hammer for scale.
Yeah.
Disqualified.
It's over.
Just so
Earth
people
was
understand
oozing
what
out
this
of it.
is, all rock hammers are universal. Mostly so you could put your rock hammer
More or
next
less,
to you put your rock hammer next to the sample you're taking to take a photograph, and anyone who's handled a rock hammer will basically go, I know exactly how big that is.
That's not.
Uh-huh.
That's
It's-
awesome.
All geologists carry one around because it's also just a really freaking useful tool.
And the rubies he's shown aren't rubies. You don't make rubies in a microwave. It's just no. They're just red
Yeah.
crystals.
Well, what if you don't got time to bake them in the oven, though? Not everybody has as much time as you, Beamsy.
Here, actually, you know what, Beamsy? I'm kind of curious now. What's your preferred type of rock hammer? I like a good masonry / brick hammer.
Oh, okay.
I like the wedge.
Oh my.
This is getting steamy, guys.
So
Wedge issues.
just for shits and giggles and science, I made. I did not do the cutting on this, but I made my own sapphire.
Sorry.
And it's just aluminum oxide that you heat a lot, and then I send it off and had it made pretty and shit. I didn't add any color, which is why it's a clear sapphire. But I think that's what that microwave scene was showing, maybe. And they had the additives to give it the red color, but that's also what made the microwave zap it, because the green stuff makes me think there was something ferrous in there.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't know. It didn't seem like a great idea to me. I just, if you want to make your own rocks, like use like
But maybe there was a copper
kiln
derivative
type
in there,
thing. Yeah.
I actually
copper,
carry.
Do not put metal in your microwave and arc it. It just is not a very good idea in the slightest.
Anyway, Beamsy, what kind of hammer do you like?
I actually carry both a brick and an anti to frame.
Is that the pointed ones?
Yeah, the pick.
Okay, that's fair.
Will you get off? Sorry.
I usually carry around a bunch of different chisels in my pack. So, yeah. I like to use mine a lot for climbing, and the wedge makes it real easy to like get in cracks, drive it in, and haul yourself up.
Yeah, I mostly use actual wedge chisels for that, because you seem to get a better grip than with a rock hammer. That's why I prefer carrying a pick.
Well, that's fair. To each their own. It just works for me. I've been doing it for over a decade now.
Yeah, if you hear weird things at the moment, the cat's currently being a sook.
There we
I ate
go.
a donut because that stuff was making me hungry.
Thanks for joining us, Jess. Fun having you.
Yeah, thanks, Jess.
Oh, Jess had to.
You just had to poof.
Oh, bye, Jess.
Well, I got to scoot in about an hour or so.
For food or for the night?
No, I've got an interview to do.
Oh, okay. Let's finish up then, so we can get to the dinosaurs.
Well, you don't have to finish up. Just
makes sense,
give me a heads up.
unless
That's all.
Earth, as we know it, is walking on. I think what's the saying? Walking on Titans or something. So we can look at a mountain where I live, which looks like an elephant overall, and my friend Mike's counted up to 50 features that correlate with the anatomy of an elephant of such magnitude. Here you can see myself going down what we believe to be a channel to the sinuses, which are situated behind what we believe to.
Oh, you lose connection
I've
there.
never
Beamsy?
wanted something to cave in more from my life. No, I'm joking, but you know.
The elephant sinuses.
I don't hope Howard gets hurt in any way, but seriously, yeah.
It was a cat doing a face palm on the keyboard. She closed all my tabs.
How rude.
Mew Mew, behave.
So I'm currently scratching her ear, and she's just clawing at the keyboard to try and keep her distracted. If I had a camera that worked, or more correctly, that she didn't eat, I'd have it on now so you could see what I'm talking about.
Do you have like a laser pointer to play with her?
She doesn't pay attention to them, but she loves cameras.
Oh, dang. Weird. Weird.
Cave of the eye socket, where there's a remnant of an eyeball. You can see that the walls and the ceiling have not
eyeballs
been
turned to stone.
smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the easiest to fossilize.
With water erosion, the colouring and the textures look quite biological, and there's all.
How does that look biological?
I don't.
It looks like a cave, Howard.
It's like
It
lime
looks like a
deposits to me.
freaking cave. Jeez. Craps.
Also,
Hey.
pillars and things that you'd expect in a sinus chamber, if I'm saying that right. So
No,
yes, there's
you're
no
not.
sign of
I
water
expect
erosion.
No.
stalactites and stalagmites in my sinus chambers. That's that's what Benadryl helps with. I don't fucking know.
It's fossilized earwax, is what it is.
Well,
You know-
he's
Diet of
sinus,
congestion.
so there shouldn't be earwax. Sinus.
Do you know the easy way to remember which one is on the floor and which one's on the ceiling when it comes to stalagmites and stalactites?
There's a couple
Stalactites have
ways.
to hold on tight because they're on the roof.
And the mites hold the roof up because they come from the floor.
Because they're mighty.
Yeah.
I was a tour guide in a cave last year. What we said was stalactites hang tight to the ceiling and stalagmites
Might stab you in the
your
foot.
toe on. Well, you might stub your toe.
Aha.
They might reach the
Erosion.
ceiling.
For these
that's it.
channels and these
There's a
chambers
bunch of
to have been
variations.
formed. Yet there is lots of to scale, to situation.
He's just using this
The
debate
shape.
to show off his vacation footage. Are you guys
Yeah,
trying-
really. It's
Yeah.
just a slide. Here's the time I went spelunking and left a frickin' bottle of Aquafina in a cave.
Because the giant
Okay, so
elephant.
that is the
dinosaur.
most pseudoscience like top thing I've ever seen. Biogeology.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what biogeology actually is? It is a real field.
Oh, really? What is it?
It's actually how things like the earth and roots interact with the soil.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
The interface of the
So
living
he's just
and the
basically
dirt.
taken a real field. You might also classify things like stromatolites and stuff under that, right? Stromatolites.
Yeah,
Um,
it's basically how organisms interact with the rocks and the earth itself. Any living organism, and
With the
how it
soil
has actually
horizon.
not just the soil horizon, but when it actually becomes petrified and you can see the fossilized remains of burrows and things like that. That's all biogeology. It's the way the biological organisms interact with the soil.
But yeah,
It's
he's,
a-
Shape
he's
to size.
Oh, good. Oh, we've got Dolphin Island.
Are you sure it's dolphin, not porpoise?
It could be a porpoise.
He calls
It's
it a dolphin.
It's
Is
your
the-
soul.
Is the one the other one? Is that supposed to be like a Spinosaurus, or what are we looking at there?
Who frickin' knows?
Orientation.
But I mean, I
Everything
can
seems-
show a picture that looks exactly like a boat kind of thing, right? So, you know,
to be where it should be. So we're recommending that people start looking at things with new eyes because wind, water, and mechanical erosion.
Is
Does he not know how that got there?
I was gonna say, tell me he's not about to say those are fossilized giants.
Is that the claim here?
If he doesn't say it, I think he's implying it.
what?
Random erosion don't account for carvings that are all to place.
Oh, something about a flood in Dreadnoughtus.
I wonder
So-
how
Can I
he'd
just-
explain Love
Can I just
Valley.
share this for a second?
Yep.
See, it's
Hey!
a fossilized frigate from the olden times.
Clearly.
It's been fossilized.
Proof
Yeah,
of time
absolutely.
travel.
Amazing.
Uh-huh.
Actually, it does look a lot like a battleship. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Proof.
Yeah, I'd
Proof
love to
that
know.
ancient,
Absolute
ancient
proof.
ships roamed the earth. Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about how a couple sauropods appeared to have died in a flood.
Yeah,
And
but
saying-
how would he explain those from Love Valley? I would love to know his explanation.
There's a place called Love Valley.
Yeah, it's in Turkey, but you'll understand when you see what they've got. Their geology predominantly.
Oh.
Places have all kinds of fun names.
Okay,
near
cool
me,
picture,
we've got
but I'm
3 different
actually
places
not
called...
sure I can show that on stream.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, now I gotta look.
Love Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I actually
I-
don't think I can show that on stream.
I don't see what the problem is. These are clearly Golden Age Middle Eastern houses.
Well, the second
Sure,
one
let's
gives you a
go with
better
that.
idea of the scale.
And we even get mainstream narratives acknowledging that there's a flood that would explain lots of the.
It's a Futurama joke. It's literally a Futurama joke.
That one's Simpsons.
Same freaking difference. One's just 1,000 years in the future.
Things we find in geology, and what we're told are craters from being hit by a meteorite. They don't make sense because they're not showing skid lines. So there's lots of people that believe that our whole worldview has been distorted, our timeline has been distorted, and it
Can I just
all
say
has to do with
the cringiness of altering a Banksy? Like, seriously, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Sorry, altering a what?
Oh,
Banksy.
on the previous slide,
Yeah,
there
the
was one of
previous slide.
a Banksy stencil.
It's a Banksy, right? That is a Banksy.
Oh.
And
so there's lots of people.
what skid lines is he referring to when he talks about crater impacts? Does he realize the velocity that they're traveling at?
I'm curious.
No, he doesn't realize
how
anything.
a
No.
dude who thinks there's a dome over the planet reckons the impact happened. Like, you can go to Behringer Crater.
Well, he doesn't think they happen.
People
He
that
doesn't think they're
believe
meteorites.
Our whole worldview has been distorted. Our timeline has been distorted.
As he showed in that
Yeah,
earlier one.
he showed it. Yeah, here. They're from the fountains of the deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the water came up.
Okay.
Crater's like I got hit by a rock from space, but I crawled out and left. No, there's fragments of the meteorite still in there. I don't. And can I just point out? Look over on the right. Okay, look over on the right.
Which one?
He's the right-hand side picture in this one, right? He's
Okay,
proving because if you look at the moon from like you'll see the same face kind of thing, right? When it
Tidal
comes
locking.
round.
Yeah.
Because it's tidally locked. So if this was true, then different people in different places should see different faces. But they don't.
Weird.
But for some reason in the southern hemisphere, you see it upside down from how we see it up here.
That's right side up, Bree. I'll just correct you on that. You guys are seeing it upside down.
We
How
see
dare
it
you.
upside down.
That's
Well, I mean,
true.
Australia's
I've got
not even
NASA
real,
money to
so-
make. How dare you?
And it all has to do with spiritual war that the Bible and also other religious scriptures warn about, that there are fallen angels that are being.
They're
The DreamWorks logo.
they're
of course.
holding boxes.
Illuminati confirmed.
Look, the Mayans had DreamWorks. Proven. So-
worshipped, and
Yeah.
they
Their
are what
survival
the Bible
kits, they've
talks
got
about.
torch. They've got a torch. They've got some food in there and some water. That's what's in those boxes.
But they didn't really go to space, Beamsy, so that can't be it.
How can they
space
go to
don't
space?
real.
if Space ain't real, yeah. Wake
that
up,
are being
sheeple.
worshipped, and they are what the Bible talks about as being the planets, because they like to go at their own speed and their own pace in their own way.
Oh,
So
they
we
love
see
it, yeah.
people that have worshipped the sun throughout the history. People have worshipped the moon throughout history.
Oh, you're going to
as well
start
as the other
making me think
planets
the
we're
sun and the
looking
moon
at.
are real.
In the Quran, they talk about jinn being a higher dimensional being, not
For
Pretty sure they're
fuck's
Guarantee
sake.
they
These are
never
from-
said higher dimensional. Guarantee you.
Sorry. Also, pause. I'm pretty sure all of these are Japanese, not Islamic.
They're Oni. They're Oni.
Yeah,
is what
Oni.
they are.
Yeah.
Two of them are Oni. One of them is a Kappa.
I thought they were all
Uh,
yokai.
Which one
Oh,
is
is
the
this one a
Kappa?
Kappa?
No, the
No,
I thought
that's
Cap-
an Oni.
Yeah, that's an Oni.
Is it?
Kappa have bald heads and turtle shells.
Yes, they have a yeah.
Is
And
he
they
going
don't
to
get
circle
water on their
back
head?
around to dragons at any point?
Look, I'm
Who
just along for
frickin'
the ride,
knows?
buddy. At this
Yeah.
point, the roller coaster has left the station, and we're on the loop de loop. You know, like there's no telling what will happen.
No, I think the roller coaster went up and derailed itself and is now on the merry-go-round.
more
There's
more apt,
alien
yes.
and angels, so you could say that these are fourth dimensional beings, that maybe angels are fifth dimensional beings, and that's why they say seven heavens, seven likewise for earths, because
I'm
Why though?
You know
Just
that
like the
like
Valley
the
of
one
Love
in
right there.
London. You know
These
the one
are
in London
all
they kind of
based on
Or
or
stolen
from.
from
Most of them
Egypt.
are stolen from Egypt.
Right. Right.
What-
The one
wait,
in
wasn't
London
the
was
London one a
stolen from
gift?
Egypt.
I thought the London one was a gift
Was it?
from.
It's
I thought it was a
possible.
gift from the Egyptian government.
They're just stellae. I mean, people have been making them for quite some time. It doesn't mean
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's Cleopatra's Needle in London. Yeah, it was stolen. It was like the English steal everything. Let's face it. Like, come on now.
Okay.
Oh no, it was
I
presented
always
to
heard-
the United Kingdom by the ruler of Egypt and Sudan. All right, they didn't steal this thing.
Yeah. There we go.
Nice. Okay. Well, good on you, English. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'll take back everything I ever said about you. Your food still sucks.
because Earth can't be a 3D shape. If we are ourselves having thoughts, feelings, memories that are not physical. So if Earth's a higher dimensional shape, then there would be higher dimensional beings, which means that there would be a creator. Because if there is higher dimensional beings that are deceiving us to think otherwise, then
You know why Satan's evil?
Because he talks out of his ass.
Because he ain't got no ass.
Yeah, I see another face down there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
Wow.
that. What is it? Western werewolf or something?
No, it's the commonly known two-faced ass demon. You've all seen one before.
and there's a clear
They
sign of
frequently
evil.
run for
If there's
political
a sign
office.
of evil, then there must be a sign of good. Good is creative, so that tells me there's a creator. And the devil's greatest trick is to make everyone think he doesn't believe. So we've literally been brainwashed to ignore all of the historical artifacts.
All right. Here we go. Yep, it's
Oh.
a Utah werewolf.
Well, well,
I've
What
seen
the
them
hell
do
is
make
that thing?
Sasquatch faces like that before.
Yep, this is a thing someone made.
No offense, but that looks like an ass muncher. It looks like it's perfectly designed to munch them.
it's like the Monsters Manual. Nom 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 nom.
I'm not
No, it was
sure if
perfectly
that's what an
evolved for
ass
eating ass.
muncher.
And that's all it looks like.
I don't think that's what an ass muncher is, quite frankly. Usually it's something that munches ass, not that is an ass that munches.
Hey, maybe the species is like insects. They mate butt to butt or face to face. In this case,
Showing that there's reptilian creatures in either a higher dimension and possibly manifested in our physical realm at some point as well.
there's the Welsh flag.
Oh no, I know where this is going to. Oh no.
Well,
Hey, we're back on
there's
dragons, kind of.
stories like of the Loch Ness. There's statues worldwide
The
of
Serpent
temples that we still don't
Sea.
understand how they built, and pyramids that show there's some kind of connection with energy, and also there's something to do with maintaining youth by eating
Yoda!
babies, which is why we get the vampire. Even depictions from Pope Gregory and Aleister Crowley, the most famous Satanist. All,
So why
as
is
well as
Yoda not
cars,
around
brands
anymore?
like Alfa Romeo
Sith
show
confirmed.
there's something about
Sith confirmed.
eating young flesh and stealing innocence. It's interesting that even the Vatican are secretly idolizing the reptile, just like
No,
the
if there
United
was some-
Nations
if-
have got symbolic subliminal
If there was an
messages in their artwork.
organization
in one of their biggest conference rooms, showing the snake on the head, like
to show the real image.
in the Jungle Book.
You know?
Everyone's hypnotized, like by the third eye. And there's many Bible verses that also suggest that there is a serpent seed, a generation of vipers, which we've been brainwashed and primed to laugh about, to even like the idea that vampires could depend on our innocence and youth to stay alive. So we
talk
ignore
about
all
vampires.
He
Does
did
it
when
always
I
come
was
down?
Beg them in.
yeah.
Okay, Dracula Rex.
the evidence, even though there was a secret society known as the Order of Dragon, which Napoleon and Count Dracula was a member of. Count Dracula being funny that the royal family admit their
The
descendants.
genealogy shows that I'm descended from Vlad the Impaler.
So yeah, we can just ignore the logos on their chairs, on their emblems. We can ignore all the detailed artwork that goes into all of the biblical details being represented. And we can ignore that their family is totally connected to secret societies that I used to be a member of, that go back to very, very long time ago. And in the highest degrees, they admit that Lucifer is their god. Lucifer is the light bearer, the light that they are hoping to acquire. And we also see what we call the world leaders go into ceremonies like the CERN tunnel opening. And also we see in Hollywood and the music industry that there's so much idolizing of these biblical figures that we're taught are just myth and we shouldn't believe. But if there's so much money behind the promotion of these subliminals, I don't think that the people telling us that we shouldn't be taking these things seriously, but at the same time spending so much time and
Ember,
energy.
you're not doing it.
I'm just wondering if these people are making a secret sign or just face palming at
They're listening to Howard's presentation. They're like,
well, hang on, which eye is it? Because they do both.
I
does it
know.
matter?
We should do
Does it
both.
matter? I've just got a headache. That's all. I just got a headache.
Yeah.
Well, they say
So-
that the OK sign is also a white supremacist thing. So
Yeah, they do.
So, Mark, I know you don't
Yeah.
like it when people diagnose others as being mentally ill over the internet,
Mm.
but I think he needs to see a licensed professional.
I do too. I wouldn't make a diagnosis, but yeah, there's something. I don't know. He just, like I said, he's never met a conspiracy he hasn't liked. You know, it really is. He'll take anything.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure that we see the alternative and actually subliminally worship and idolize people that promote these things. It just tells me that there's definitely an agenda for a one world government, and that we're being we've got plenty of evidence right in front of us. So if people want to take screenshots,
people
want that
doing
to
this
quickly in the open discussion, there's plenty of means, methods, opportunity. So thanks for listening. Let's see if we can get into it.
was that a
And we're
half an hour
done.
opening?
Holy
20 minutes.
That felt like
crap.
2 hours. Yeah, that felt like so long. But I mean, like, this is the thing. Like I said to Donnie, like, he will go vastly off topic. I don't know why he didn't sort of jump in and say, hey, keep to the dinosaurs, because that was just an unhinged rant. Whatever. I mean, it's his channel, but
if he wanted to try to prove the Illuminati, whatever, it's like I don't know. It didn't. It veered off dinosaurs and never really went back.
Right, but he kind of has this thing of where he goes into the debate, brings up every conspiracy theory under the sun, like literally every single one he can possibly throw at you, and then go disprove them all. You know, and it's like you haven't shown any evidence for any of them.
I know that should have been the shortest debate ever on Donnie's channel anyway. Because if I were Snake, I would have been like, cool story, bro, but
Yeah.
are you conceding because you didn't actually make an argument? You know,
Right.
Yep.
So
So,
not an argument for, it was like he's having a completely different conversation than the topic. It almost sounds like it's like cookie cutter for what he brought to Mark.
yep. So, now that we're done with that, there was another thing we were here for that'll hopefully be a little less agonizing.
Okay.
all right. So
Let's
so
do
what
it.
are we doing now?
The objectively best dinosaur tier list ever.
Yes.
Okay. And
has to
rawr.
be. Yes, that was what PowerPoint recommended to me, so I used it.
Nice.
I thought it was cute. Anyway,
I'm with
so
you.
for those who aren't familiar with tier
Congratulations.
lists,
Congratulations with working out how to do the slideshow in PowerPoint, which like 100% of creationists cannot work out. So congratulations.
I did it in PowerPoint, and then I had to port it over to Google Docs or Google Slides in order to get it to actually function right.
Oh,
Really? Okay.
we're fancy today.
Yeah, I did technology. You should fear my creation. At any rate, for those not familiar with tier lists, these are an easy way to show like your thoughts on a particular group of things. In this case, dinosaurs. The tier list itself has a few different levels. The lowest level is F. You know, like you might have gotten this grade in school if you were bad in a class. But it goes
Howard level
above
then.
A. It goes above A into S tier. This is absolute best.
Supreme.
S tier.
Yeah, that comes from Japanese games where it used to rate you, up to A, and then S was super tier or supreme tier.
And just quick explanation of what we're ranking today. We're going to be ranking representatives of major clades of dinosaurs. So these are representatives of a group of dinosaurs. To try to keep things a bit simpler than going over the entire group. There are 24 in total. I had to do a lot of cutting to get it to a reasonable number.
Orders, families.
Mostly family level, chosen from not.
Are they
dinosaur cladistics is a bit complicated, but I chose representatives of major groups of dinosaurs.
Arbitrary groups. No,
Somewhat
honestly,
arbitrary.
I'm down with groups.
The famous dinosaurs. That's cool.
And not just the famous ones. There's a lot of less well-known ones in here too.
Ooh,
I
that's
wanted
what I'm
to.
here for it.
Yes. That said, some clades might be split into 2 or more sections, just because they changed a ton from when they started and when they ended. As an example, the Tyrannosauroids, so the lineage that led up to T-Rex, are split in 2 because they changed a lot from start to finish.
Love it.
I'm with you.
And we'll be ranking them on 4 different criteria that should give each dinosaur their chance to shine or not. So, first criteria is offensive capability. S tier could kill anything. F tier couldn't kill a frickin' fly. Just completely harmless. Next is defensive capability. S tier is literally invulnerable or untouchable. So they can either, be really, really durable, or they can just be fast and agile and not get hurt at all. Then there's subjective coolness. Sometimes we just really like a dinosaur, so we want to put it a bit higher. This is what this is for. Or you might absolutely hate that it exists. And lastly is survivability. Now, this one we have to do a bit of thinking for, but basically, generally, the more specialized you are, the easier it is for you to die and go extinct. The more general you are, the better. But you might be lacking in other areas that'll push you down on the tier list. So, with these criteria in mind, we should get a few S's, maybe a few F's, but a nice distribution across the board.
I want to
Are
make
we
a
going to get the
prediction.
D? Are we going to get the D? Is what I'm asking.
There is a D. There will
And
there is a
probably be at
excellent.
least one D.
I'm making
Nice.
a prediction. I'm making
yes.
a prediction that there's going to be a balance between the pink and the green on this.
On the slideshow?
The rankings there, the defensive capability,
okay.
defensive capability and survivability in stressed environments, because you get these large browsers, right, that get super huge and nothing can mess with them except for climatic event, which wipes them all out.
Yep, exactly.
So I predict balance there.
Because, if not for that last one, like, sauropods and T-Rex and all them automatic S tier, but having that criteria in there makes it they have to work a little harder for it. And it also gives the little dinosaurs a shot, too. Because, some dinosaurs might not be able to fight, but they lasted 30 million years. So,
It's got to count for something.
Anyway, so we know what we're ranking, and we know how we're ranking them. So let's move on to our first dinosaur. Well, actually, our example dinosaur.
That's a Pokemon. Don't lie to me.
So this is how the slides are going to go. At the top is going to be the genus and species and the clade they're representing. In this case, it is Sheldonus testudens of the Sheldon clade. Then the name meaning. Name translates to Sheldon the turtle. When it evolved, when it went extinct, the niche it had, in this case cute, and a couple facts about him, because, I like to be educational. So he tiny, he adorable, and you have to protect him. Also, there's just a picture, in case you're not familiar with the dinosaur. I tried to choose representative ones.
I like his shell.
He's very cute.
Points.
And I love him.
Agreed. We'll make him our king.
All right. Now then, our first actual ranking. Oh, nope, not second. Meet Gnathovorax cabreri, or Cabreri's jawed devourer.
Nom nom nom.
This is a mid-sized predator of the early Triassic, and it's one of the earliest known dinosaurs. We have one specimen, but it was very, very well preserved, including the brain case. So we know it probably had pretty good vision.
Can we have a rock hammer for scale?
It's about 12 to 13 feet long, I believe.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to just put up a quick banner for our criteria so people know what they are.
And this is what we're talking, like Herrerasaurus or Herrerasaurus.
It's related, yeah.
Yeah. So these guys, if anything, that tier ranking for survivability, these gave us dinosaurs. These were the prototypes in the early Triassic, and
the first carnivorous dinosaurs.
They're pretty gracile, yeah, and they
lightly built,
but not like a Coelophysis, which was like a heron.
A little more slim, yeah. Oh, and also, in case anyone's curious, this is inspired by Tier Zoo, if you're familiar with them at all, because I was not a fan of their dinosaur tier list.
So we have to do a better job.
Yeah, so
no pressure,
Tier Zoo looks at them as though they're playable classes in a game.
Oh.
So that kind of inspired the criteria. So, what are we feeling for, say, attack power from F to S?
I would probably give it a B to an A. I think it looks very offensive. Maybe it's just the position it's in, but if it's like 12 to 13 feet long, it was probably a decent predator.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards B because it could definitely ruin my day, but an Apatosaurus would just sneeze on it.
Well, that's true.
Do we know if they hunted in packs or anything like that?
No idea.
Okay.
Just
So
no idea.
as lightly built as its skull is, I think, yeah, it could still do some damage to a human. So it was hunting us, but like a plesiosaurus or something like that, maybe not so much. It's probably the biggest predator in its biome, though. So I'm gonna give it an A tier myself.
Okay, so BBA. Beamsy, you have an opinion? I'm gonna guess Beamsy is distracted by Mew Mew.
Kitty.
Well, I'm giving Beamsy's
I
cat
would-
an offensive power of at least S tier.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, I'd probably go with a B myself. How about defense? I'm feeling a bit lower on defense.
Yeah, same here. I'd probably say a D or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gracile is the characteristic that kind of pops up when I type this critter's name into the Chat GPT. I'll tell you that, which to me makes me think that it's going to be pretty easily bodied if it was up against anything even slightly bigger than it. So yeah. I'm going to go with like a D.
Yeah, it's got claws
Amber, you
and
agree?
talons and teeth, though, but not anything really defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, speed and maneuverability seems to be its main defenses.
Yeah.
All right, so I think maybe a C or a D for defense. How about how much do you like it? It's like
I like
any
its
attachment
fluff.
to it?
Its fluff is cute.
Oh, the little bit of fluff it has, yeah.
Uh-huh. Do we know if Herrerasaurus has actually had fluff? I don't think that's.
Most likely did, but we don't have any direct evidence. The fossils
I don't know,
aren't that well
I'm getting some real Komodo dragon vibes from the face kind of thing, so I'm not sure I'm 100% sold on that. I think I'd go for a C, like just mid-range. Yeah, it's a dinosaur, all right.
Okay. Well,
It is
yeah, I'd probably
very
go with that too.
basic. You're basic. I'm gonna give you a D tier because you're basic.
And then last
You had
category,
effort.
survivability.
How well
Probably-
it could adapt to its
Probably at
environment.
least a B.
I'm gonna give a Herrerasaurus an A on survivability.
The changing
True, they
environments.
usually
yeah,
live
I'd
in pretty
imagine
stressed
that,
environments.
yeah, I think it probably would have. I would say B as well. Like it sort of could adapt to stressed environments. Okay.
So maybe like a low B, high C? Or low B, C as an average? Or, sorry, high C or low. I think actually just C, like average, maybe?
Yeah.
All right. We have our first dinosaur on the tier list. Nathothorax. Yes, C tier. Right. And for anyone curious, the closer you are to the letter, the better you are. Alrighty.
So right now it's the best C.
For now.
I did boot up my simulcast because it was amusing to do so. And Icarus asks, are we going to be ranking Dapper?
Oh.
I am not going to confirm or deny if Dapper is on here.
Okay.
And actually, I'm kind of thinking I can have both the tier list and the thing on my stream if I show my screen.
Oh.
Well, let's see if the black magic works.
Sorcery.
Yeah, when I pop in and say hi to Icarus, so I opened up your chat.
All right. I cannot see the stream now. Can y'all see? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Oh, no, come on.
Windows is trying to be helpful.
Yeah,
Take me
trying.
a second monitor. Okay.
Nope.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
I know. I need a second
I
monitor,
am a
too.
poor bastard. That said, we have our next dinosaur. Draco caducus.
Hey!
Prosauropods.
Its name translates. Actually, Beamsy, are you here? Because I need you to help me pronounce this.
Is that Welsh?
It is
Yeah, it's
Welsh.
Mhm.
Well, without Beamsy here, it is the fallen dragon of Pantivnian.
That's pretty close. I
It's
couldn't do
about
better.
200. It's about 200 million years old. A small omnivore that was found in a Welsh quarry that may have died by falling into a ravine. And the only specimen of what we have is a juvenile.
Okay,
So
so
we don't know what the
that's
adult animal looked like.
that's a partridge, and it died from a fall. So not very survivable, not very
No, I
intimidating.
feel like it could survive just fine. To be honest with you, it looks very resourceful.
Just unlucky, maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, and
they
don't forget
find
it was a juvenile.
rhinoceroses and-
I mean, teenagers are generally do stupid things, right? So don't
True.
judge the adults by what the teenagers are doing.
It is Pantyphon anyway.
Pantyphon?
Yeah.
Okay. So the fallen
Welcome
dragon
back,
of Pantyphon.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess maybe the fact that we only have the one specimen and it's a juvenile means that they're actually super survivable. None of the rest of them ever died.
Right.
Maybe we can settle on like a high B for it. Because it's small. It was likely an omnivore. So
Yeah, it's an omnivore. It looks. Yeah, I'm gonna go for A for survivability. Actually, I mean, offensiveness, I'd probably go for like a E tier, maybe.
like
It
E?
doesn't look very. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the reason it's an omnivore is because it needs to aggressively hunt bugs and berries, you know?
Yeah.
That sounds like
Maybe.
quite a charmed life, though.
Oh, yeah, bugs and berries are the shit, yo.
Yeah, you're living in the Triassic. It doesn't get much better than bugs and berries.
Yeah,
When you
right.
got Rarsukins running around wanting to chomp on you. You
Yeah.
got
And I'm just thinking, we do have 24 of these to go through. You guys know the criteria, so maybe just shout out what you think you would rate it like as a whole.
Okay.
overall. Okay.
That way we don't go through all the criteria for every dino, because if we do that, it'll take a lot longer to go through this.
I'm going to
I
give
think
this
this
guy
would
a
probably
B
be-
tier.
Yeah,
Sorry.
same
B?
here.
Okay, B, Ember,
See?
C, Beamsy.
Beamsy?
I'll go D because anytime the panty is dropped, it's usually for the D.
That's true. I'm persuaded I will also go D.
I would probably
I
go
would go D
for
too.
C. So I think it's a C. Below Nathavorax.
It would be.
Why are you
both
even
those-
asking
it has
us? You're
both
just
those
vetoing
Ds.
us at the end of the day. Like, come on, man.
No, I'm not. We are a
B
panel.
pulled it
I
up.
am taking the average while giving my own opinion.
Okay. I don't believe you.
These
Sure.
guys gave us like the sauropods. You know what these things turned into later on? Oh my gosh! got
They
huge.
eventually did.
Yeah, right now they're still little bug biters. I know.
We have a few more to go before we get to the big sauropods.
Mm-hmm.
But
Are you going
Anti-Drago,
chronologically? Because
semi-chronologically.
I predict next is going to be a Solophysis.
That said, if we were just going on the name, I'd say S tier. Because
Yeah,
that freaking name,
Panty Draco,
Panty Draco.
I still
the
prefer my
Panty
logic.
Dragon.
You were saying, sorry, Beamsy, you were saying something.
I still prefer my logic for it, but yeah.
Oh well. Next one. Pegamastax africana of the Heterodontosaurids.
F.
The strong jaw from Africa.
F.
It's from about 200 million years ago. It is a small herbivore and
F.
an early ornithischian, so an ancestor to stuff like duckbills, triceratops, stuff like that. It had multiple types of teeth, so
F.
varied diet, and it is hands down the best creature in Ark Survival
Ah,
Evolved,
you
as you can hear Mark
son
attesting
of a
to.
Bitch. No, it sucks and it's terrible and I hate it so much.
What's wrong with it in
F
the
for
game?
me. it steals your crap and then runs away, and you've got to chase after it. It makes me so mad.
And sometimes it'll eat whatever it takes off you, even if it's like a pickaxe or something.
It'll eat it. Oh wow!
Yeah, it'll just disappear.
I just don't see it being a very good creature, so I'd go E.
Ooh, all the way down to E.
So ugly.
Like a small, slow herbivore? Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I was leaning towards E because they just don't seem super useful. And as a general rule, I'm slightly biased against heteros, but it causes so much mischief. I kind of want to bump it up to like a C.
C? Okay.
Do you know that the hetero in this means it's about its teeth? You can tell it's dots. Hetero dots.
I know.
Ember knows.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the Ark survival thing, so I've never had
it is an
steal
utter
from me.
bastard in Ark.
But is it fuzzy? Because it looks fuzzy.
It is in the
More
game. This Ark is
hairy.
based off the game.
Aww. Is it about the size of a puppy?
Actually, yeah, about that. Well, small dog.
Are you for real? Oh, I want one.
We need to make a plushie now.
This is S tier.
Okay, so we have an S.
Anything that can sit on my lap and it's fuzzy is going to be S tier. Just so you know.
Have you seen that beak though? That sucker's gonna pinch when it chomps.
Have you seen a
On the
dog's
downside,
teeth, though?
Bree. On the downside, Bree, I'm gonna go D. So I think averaging it all out, it is
It's
a D.
Yeah.
Can
I'm
I
the
just
only
show you a
one who
picture
laughed
of this thing? In like this is a picture of this thing.
Show me in game. Show me in game what
Yeah.
it looks like.
Yeah. Obviously. Where is it? There it is.
Yep. Okay.
It doesn't
Yeah,
look
there's
cute
the little
there,
gremlin.
It doesn't look cute at all. Like it really doesn't.
Tell you what, Bree, join us for one of our Ark streams, and we'll show you what it's like.
I have a PlayStation. I just never play it. I don't know if I could play.
I don't know if Ark's cross-platform.
No, I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Well. Up next, Megaptosaurus rhodesiensis. Its name translates to big dead lizard from Rhodesia.
Awesome.
Cool.
It's from, again, about 200 million years ago. It was a small carnivore that lost its original name to a beetle. And the describers were so pissed at it, they just called it Big Dead Lizard.
Okay.
The environment it lived in was actually really rough, really dry with really distinct wet and dry seasons. And many of the specimens we have healed broken bones. So it was a survivor.
Okay, that's a good tidbit because I was originally going to rank it low because it couldn't even win a battle of naming rights against a frickin' beetle, but
Right.
running around with broken bones as a carnivore, like a herbivore can get away with that because you can limp over to the banana tree, right? But as a carnivore, you still have to catch your dinner, and to do that with broken bones, that's
Right.
pretty impressive.
What did you say about beetles?
It lost its original name to a beetle.
They
It was
are
originally
the most
called-
successful. Hold on, they're the most successful order of organisms on the planet.
Oh no! You angered the bug person.
So I'm just saying that we all lose to beetles. All of us.
It
Except
lost the name
bacteria.
Stentarsus, which means fused tarsals, and I don't know why a beetle was called fused tarsals, considering they don't have tarsals, but it was.
That's fair.
Just to spite these guys who were doing the naming, they were like,
Why
you know
is
what, we're
there-
taking your name.
Why is it in the water though? Is it thought to have been?
It was just a cool piece of art I found, and I liked it.
Well, I think that they're size of a large dog, so I'd probably put them in like B tier.
B? Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Coelophysis didn't have the fluff, at least not that we know of.
It's insufficiently cute.
It probably had a little bit of fuzz, at least.
Bree's
Aw.
only criteria is whether it's huggable or not. That's
I want
Bree's
to kind
only
of-
criteria.
I don't want it to bite my face off either. So there's a balance there. Coelophysis is big enough that I don't. They're almost human size. So
Megapnosaurus is a little smaller.
okay,
Not
we're
much,
gonna
but
go
a
with.
little.
I'm gonna B tier this sucker just to put it. Yeah, B tier. That's
Okay.
for me.
How about you, Ember?
I think A. I am
Hey,
impressed
okay,
by the
okay.
warrior spirit to continue on with broken bones and shit.
That is
That
pretty
is fair.
badass. It like doesn't look like much, but it's like, yeah, it's got the scars to prove it, right?
They also
and
thought it
then-
hunted. They went in packs, similar to hyenas. So it was not just a predator; it was also a scavenger. So it was
So-
closer to an A.
That's been proposed for Coelophysoids, yeah.
I'm actually Ember has persuaded me a little bit because I'm picturing this guy on the boat in Jaws showing scars with the rest of them.
Yeah. I think I'll change to A if they are a pack predator, because that's powerful, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It
it
is
leads to the
possible
development
they
of
did
social
at the
dynamics.
At the very least, its relative Coelophysis definitely lived in large colonies. So even if they didn't
Wait, where would
pack
you bump
together,
it up
they
to,
lived
Bree?
together.
The reason why they thought they hunted in packs is because of the ability to actually live long enough for their bones to heal.
Yeah, A tier.
Yeah, that could be.
A tier?
A
Okay.
tier.
Bree's bumping up
Are
as
we
well. Yeah, I'm with you,
always?
Bree. I'm with you.
Yeah, we're consistently
Oh.
A tier on this.
We already
Survivor.
have an A. The Survivor,
Survivor.
the big dead lizard.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
It's the fact that it could eat almost anything. It was a group hunter, they believe, because it actually healed. It survived long enough to heal, because a solo predator wouldn't be able to do that.
And I gotta
Yeah.
agree about this paleo art piece too. It's like lit.
Yeah, it's a all of the art that I could find sources for are sourced. So this is by Plio Art, I think on DeviantArt, but I could be wrong. All right. Well, the big dead lizard has been ranked. So up next, we have Scorpio Venator, Boostingyori.
That's a cool
In
name.
other words, Boostingyori's scorpion hunter. It lived about 95 million years ago and was a large carnivore. And it was named for all the scorpions that were all over the dig site. It's known
Okay.
for an almost complete skeleton, missing only parts of the tail and arms. And it was probably lightly armored, like most other abelisaurids.
So it's a large carnivore and
Mhm.
armored. Lightly armored, so it
about-
still moves fast-ish.
About 20 feet long, I think, for
And
Scorpio.
it's named
Venator.
after, and it's got that badass name. That's like a totally metal name. Well, maybe not the second part, but the first part is Scorpio
Boostingyori.
Boostingyori. That's not too bad. Yeah.
If
That's
you
pretty
pronounce it
badass.
slightly differently, then it'd be busting gorily.
Busting gory.
Oh, that's a hazard right there.
I'm
Never
S
had one.
tier. This is
It's
my
like
first.
it's like
well,
Scorpio Venator kick your assius, you know, like
Yes. You want to ride this guy into battle, don't you?
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
it. He's a battle mount.
Stephanie, the
So-
ages come from
You're
bracketing
20 feet.
of
That's
igneous
because it's not
provinces.
too big. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
To get dates, we use bracketing dating from igneous provinces.
Stephanie in Mark's chat is asking how we
Oh,
dated
sorry.
95 million years.
Well, you bring 95 million years flowers, and then you compliment 95 million years haircut, and then you ask 95
Okay,
million years out.
So we have one S from Bree. Ember, how about you?
I'm going with A. It's damn cool, but it doesn't
Okay.
it doesn't quite reach that thrilling peak experience.
Doesn't have that
It's
extra
got a plus
spice.
2 to armor, though. Or what's the
It's
plus
true,
1 to
it's
armor?
true.
Plus
Is it a
2
plus
on a
1?
scale of up to 10. Lightly armored.
It wouldn't have been the pinnacle predator, so It would be more
True,
likely
it was
closer
not
to
an
a
apex
B.
predator.
Yeah.
Okay. Mark, how about you?
I will. I like this guy. I probably will put it in a A.
A? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks like Fang from Primal too.
I think I would go B too, which averages out to a low A. So Scorpio Venator is a second A.
Eh?
Hey.
Hey. Alrighty.
Nobody's had an F tier yet, though.
Not yet. Pegamastak's got close.
Yeah. What is E tier? I've never seen a one of these with an E tier.
And I guess we
Radiometric
don't really
dating,
need that one.
depending on the
Uh,
radioactive
yeah,
material
that
you
looks a
use,
bit
can
better.
go back to billions of years.
There we go.
Yeah.
That looks more good.
Beamsy, just maybe when you're addressing stuff in chat, it might be a good idea to disclose that first.
Sorry.
No,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
It's just
'cause I'm
otherwise
like-
that just kind of
I'm like,
interjects right in the conversation.
What's happening?
Stephanie states the radiometric dating goes back millions of years. Lol. Radiometric dating can give you hundreds of years, thousands of years, even up to billions of years.
Oh yeah, the
Turns out
decay
that
chain for
isotope,
uranium
yeah.
is freaking ridiculous.
It
Yeah.
all depends on
Oh.
what radioactive material you're using.
Yeah. And I have Mark's chat pulled up on my phone. Wilberforce actually has a good analogy. A works, not an apex, but ridiculously dangerous, like a leopard.
Yeah,
that works.
yeah, that's exactly it. Ridiculously dangerous, but not quite supreme.
Right. Next is Stegosaurus
S.
ungulatus, the hoofed and roofed reptile. It lived about 150 million years ago and was a large herbivore. It lost its head in Disney's Fantasia and possessed an armored throat. Yet, it was actually lightly built for its size. We know that now because we finally found a pretty complete specimen.
And it had 2 brain cases.
Yeah, that's right.
not
They have the
exact- not
secondary
exactly a
brain,
brain.
don't they?
Not exactly a secondary brain, more like just a large clump of nerves.
Details.
But it was still in a brain case. That's why I said it had 2 brain cases.
Enlargement in the pelvis, but
Was it above the cloaca or below the cloaca?
Was it thinking with its
above the
cloaca?
I just want to
anyway,
know if it shit on its brain or
No, this is an S, and this is before I even remembered with Beamsy's prompting that there was a second frickin' brain in this thing. It's an herbivore. It's peaceful by nature, but it's unfucking killable. I mean, it's got defensive weapons in its tail. It's got the frickin' spinal spikes. It's got an armored throat. I mean, you just cannot do better than this with a land animal, you know?
no, I can kind of agree. Like, let's say in a 1v1 fight, I would agree with you. But I feel like it would be very vulnerable to pack or mob hunting. Because the tail is all the way, over there, but its head is on the other side. And
That's why
Can
it
I
needs the
just-
to be
second
flanked,
brain.
Can I just interject that that an armored throat doesn't do a lot of good if your tiny head fits inside most predators' mouths?
yeah, that's true. It's just a neat little factoid.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
T-Rex
I
comes along
agree.
and chomp.
I agree.
Can I just say
I
that
agree with you,
Stego is-
Ember, in a 1v1, but in any other situation, I feel like it could lose pretty easily.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Do they live
Or-
in herds, do we think?
We don't have enough data to say for sure.
We have group nesting sites for stegosaurids, though, right? I believe
Do
we
we
do.
swords?
Not for stegosaurus, but I think we have stegosaurids. I don't know which species. Let me
That-
see.
yeah,
I would
that's
rate
an
that one an
excellent
S
point.
tier.
Because
That werewolf I would rate an S tier. Quite
Oh, for
frankly.
sure,
That's
for sure.
horrifying. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, if they did move in herds, that renders the pack hunting point moot.
At least BBC here says there are no known stegosaur nests or eggs.
For stegosaurus. Group
It just says
testing.
stegosaur.
Is it talking about the species?
It just
I
says
know that there's
stegosaur.
There's something. It was at the Isle of Wight,
Or
right?
stegosaurus. BBC Science Focus. Yada yada, whatever.
You just agreed to sell your soul. This is how,
Yeah,
how
I-
BBC
good,
gets
good
all
luck
their
finding
goodies.
it. You
Yeah.
gotta find it first. Oh, right. Something I should probably mention. We have an Allosaurus that appears to have been stabbed in the crotch by a Stegosaurus tail.
Aim for the femoral artery.
And we all love the Thagomizer.
The literal crotch.
Yeah, the
Wow.
two other things that you might find interesting: the muscle connections on their plates made them so they can actually flex them up and down, so they can actually go down to 90 degrees and back up again.
Ooh.
So
Due to
what
the
you're
muscles.
saying? Hold on. So what you're saying is they can flap them?
Yes.
I would request a source for that, Beamsy. I've never heard of that.
Give me a second, I'll give you that source. And the other thing is they can
So-
almost bend in half, and they believe that they actually use the tail as a spear, and they could actually jut it past their head.
How do we know these guys couldn't fly with their flapping dragons? They're dragons, right?
Well,
How
shit.
Yeah,
Howard
it's
should have
like,
pulled
well-
these guys up.
Yeah.
Especially with Beamsy's new news that they could flap those. Yeah.
Oh, for crying out loud. Anyway, so I would probably go for a high B myself. How about you?
I'd
Ray?
probably just go for B. Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
Mark
go
B.
with that. Again, I was never impressed by stegosaurs with their tiny heads. They seemed like the big walking meat piles. I'm gonna go with the C tier on this because they definitely are survivors, and I wouldn't want to get thagomized, but yeah.
Okay, Beamsy, how about you? You could drag it up or down depending on how you want to go.
I would actually put it as a D because they're interesting, but I don't think they were that interesting.
Oh my.
I'm
Sounds
sorry
like we
to all
might
this-
have our first B tier then.
The Stego haters, Stego lovers out there are going to be, upset. Don't be triggered by Beamsy's Stego hate.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, honestly, if they were still around today, I'd be the first one lining up for a steak. You know.
They do look like
I have a feeling you'd eat just about any dinosaur steak, Ember, from how you've talked
Absolutely. I tried
These
at
were
least twice.
These
Okay,
were the
I'm gonna just
bozos
level
of their
with
day,
you.
right?
I'm probably just rating them how I find them in Arc, to be honest with you, like seriously.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
surprised.
basically what I'm doing.
I mean, in fairness, you have, even though it's simulated, it's still actual experience with these creatures, whereas we're just going by what paleontology has told us, you know?
Can you ride this?
Hypothetically, maybe.
no, in Arc, yes.
Oh.
Where do you sit?
Like in between the plates.
Yeah, Arcstegosaurus, I think, has the plates in pairs, so you sit
Yeah.
between two of the pairs.
They aren't staggered.
I don't think they are.
No, I don't.
Arcstegosaurus is weird anyway. It has 6 thagomizers.
Anyway, I do have to go, so I've got to cut it early
Oh,
here. I
fair,
do
fair.
have a interview with Sky Out coming up, so that should be something. Sky Out's and pre-sup, I think.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So that should be an interesting conversation, but hopefully it should be nice, and we can have a chat and see what's what. But thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thanks for joining us, Mark.
Yeah, good to
If
see you.
no
anyone
problem.
wants to continue listening, feel free to hop on either Ember or my
Yeah,
stream.
absolutely. Go to Ember or go to Dr. Dino or Brie. Are you simulcasting at the moment?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, yeah, just go over there and we can. Actually, I'll grab those links for you. Just 1 second. So you've got you've got all the choices in the world.
Just send them to Docs, because we Doc is so
Oh,
close
okay,
to 100. We gotta push.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. There's the link to Dr. Dino's stream if you'd rather see that. But I've got an interview coming up. So thank you so much, everybody. I've really enjoyed it. It was awesome. But I gotta shoot.
Yeah, see you later.
Lots
dude.
of fun. See you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, as of
And
right
then
this
they'll
moment,
fall.
Doc is at 99 subscribers.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I am at 99. Huh.
Uh,
Well, I mean, this wouldn't be a bad 100 stream, I guess.
Yeah. So if you're not subscribed
You're at
to
100.
Doc, if you're in my
There you
chat,
go.
there's a link to Doc's channel pinned to the top of the chat. If
You're
you're
at
not
100.
subscribed, just hop on over, push that button. You'll make.
Wait, I'm at 100?
Mhm.
I am at 100.
Da da da.
Hey, honey, I'm famous on the internets. She has headphones on. She can't hear me.
There's two different ones you can actually read through. It's where they believe that the plates were used for displays rather than defense or for heat loss. They're a
Like
long
crocodile
read.
shiver.
Kind of, but they believe that they could actually flex them up and down in a display.
Well, I'll definitely read through this later because if that is really cool.
Wrap your head around this. These guys were like giant pangolins of their day.
And it's actually funny. We were just talking about Arc. In Arc, you can make them change the orientation of their plates to do different functions. Because you can use your dinosaurs to harvest materials. One's good for harvesting berries for food. Another's good for harvesting wood for fire. And another is good for harvesting thatch, usually for building.
Thatch.
I love a good thatching in the morning.
Anyway, next dinosaur